See? These dishes are
Leah to sing this song? Come on, Leah. Nice. Do both. I'm cutting bad fruit off of my tree to lighten my load and grow me tall. Just like my dogma, this fire in my truck, covered in ashes, now taking me home. Shedding my antlers, making up answers to the mystery of nature. So I reach for the sharp spruce tips and cedars, now free up them rivers. The salmon will run, no dam can hold. Uniting the nations, it's gonna take some patience. So unzip your sheepskin, the road every turn. Hey, 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 the road every turn. Hey, hey.
Stunning, our roots strong and always we're forging new pathways, we're claiming those bold dreams, we wild in the shadow play, our glory bound promise, this moment's upon us, the language to sow seeds now, to rebel from running, from solace in purpose, it's happy, let's work it, this light is your birthright, your voice and your promise.
Brother, I hear it, call to the spirit, union of all things, like words on the sky. I read the totems my ancestors wrote on. Now I see patient as a weight on a chart. This runs through all things like thunder and lightning. Song everlasting will always I learn. Hold out the old skin, now we are kindred. Open and listen, the rose every turn. Hey, 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 the rose every turn. Hey, hey. All of creation's making a statement. You can't escape it. She's coming for you. If it was up to me, I'd teach it the lonely. This is just part of the courage it takes. Maybe it's the music that's moving right through us. All of the songs that will outlive me. I'm running the song lines, I'm wrapping my prayer ties, preserving the old way. My wolf has returned. Where's my pack at? My wolf has returned. Go on and carry your flag. Carry your flag, I got your back. Go on and carry your flag. Carry your flag, I got your back. Go on and carry your flag. Carry your flag, I got your back. Go on and carry your flag. Carry your flag, I got your back.
Naco in the house.
Yeah. Keep carrying your flag strong, y'all. We got your back.
Remain silent one more time for Naco Bear. Leah's song of Rising Appalachia. Unify.
Built for
Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind's elation. Little girl from Sweden dream a silver screen quotation. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication. It's the edge of the world and all the Western civilization. The sun may rise in the east, at least it's settled in a final location. It's understood that Hollywood's is Californication. Hey, hey. was born in a cold, high cold, soft cold. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. Marry me, girl, be my ferry to the world, be my very own constellation. A teenage bride with a baby inside, getting high on information. Buy me a star on a boulevard, it's Californication. Here we go. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Cobain, can you hear the space singing songs of station to station? Alderaan, not far away, it's Californication. Bonded by those rings of the population. Everybody's been there, and I don't mean on vacation. Was born in a cold, high cold, soft cold. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. Dream of destruction leads to development, but it also breeds creation. Earthquakes out, two girls get shot, just another good vibration. Tidal wave couldn't save the world, Californication. Kiss her very well, raise the spell of hating. Second and the rest, there is no test. This is what you're claiming. Was born in a cold, high cold, soft cold. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication.
This summer at Sonic, take a trip.
Oh, you might know this one then. Today was gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you got to do. And I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you heard it on the phone, but you never really had it down. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that light the way are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. I said I don't know how. I said maybe you're gonna be the one to save me.
Good morning, liars. After all, you're my wonderwall.
Today was gonna be the day that I'll never throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you got to do. And I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that light the way are blinding. There are many things that I'd like to say to you, but I don't know how. You know I don't know how. So maybe you're gonna be the one who saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. So maybe you're gonna be the one who saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. So maybe you're gonna be the one who saves me. You're gonna be the one who saves me. You're gonna be the one who saves me. Cheers.
Now, at McDonald's, get a $5 McChicken meal deal.
Fuck McDonald's. Now listen, it's time. Baby, you're gonna be the one that saves me, And after all, you're my wonder wall. Do 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 do. Gonna be the one that saves me, saves me. Do 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 do.
Thanks for calling APAC. This is Jacob. How can I help you?
Good morning, Jacob. May I please speak to Elizabeth Ortiz?
I don't believe she's currently available. Is there any way you could take a message?
What does she got going right now?
She's not in town. She's currently out of state.
Out of state? How's she gonna answer these pressing questions?
I mean, I can provide her email address if that helps.
Is she like on leave or something? Is she on like work? Because I'm trying to get a hold of her. You know, I don't need to like to know her like personally. You know what I'm saying? But like
Right.
like she's the director of APAC. So like I need to speak to the director of APAC like right now. And so like if it's like oh she's well that's gonna be her like you won't be able to argue later that I didn't try to talk to her first.
Okay. Yeah, so since she's not available to speak with you directly on the phone, I think the email option is the
I'm not
best
gonna
route.
email her. I'm not gonna email her so you can dismiss my email. I need to hear her words into my ear. So like you're
Okay.
saying that so there's no phone service where she's at?
I'm saying that I can't connect you with her over the phone at the moment.
You mean you can't like transfer me because she's not like okay. So you can take my number down and tell her she has 20 minutes to call me back.
Sure. What's your phone number?
520-771-2021 and my name is Lane Myers.
2021 Lane Myers. All right, Lane. I'll
Thank
go
you.
ahead and relay that message.
Thank you. This is hey, cause look, I'm gonna give her a chance to speak for herself. That's what so let her know that fucking the Lane Myers Nonviolent Army is coming, okay? And she can call me right now and tell the whole world what she meant when she lied to the Supreme Court, okay? She filed something with the Supreme Court, okay? It's on paper forever. So now she needs to tell me and the world what she meant. Because like the whole world can see it, right? And she's a public employee and her government email and her government phone number and your address and all that, right? Is right on her filing, right? So there can be no question that Elizabeth Ortiz is the executive director of APAC, which is a public government agency. Okay, your website ends in .gov, right? You know Lane Myers is going to bring it like he's never brought it, right? So like if she thinks what happened to her little buddies in Tucson was bad, you should see what we're going to do to her now. And yes, that's a threat. That's a threat to drag this dumb bitch through court, across YouTube, and across the country, famous. Okay, so she can call and say, "Hey, Lane, how you doing? I know you're upset about what I said. Here's I want to take this opportunity to clarify my statements in a petition filed to the Supreme Court." Okay, she can do that. Before I press the button, right? Activate. Before I activate, you know what I'm saying? Our constitutional rights. I'm giving her an opportunity to speak for herself. Okay, I'm giving her an opportunity. Hey, Miss Ortiz, you said this. What did you mean? Okay. Now, if she wants to avoid it, that's going to speak for itself. Okay. So thank you, and I look forward to speaking to her in the next 20 minutes. Have a good day. See if she gets that. See if we get that call back. See if we get this call back. They don't like when you threaten them. He threatened. Oh, I'm definitely threatening you. I'm threatening to take your ass to court into a higher ground and show you a higher love called agape. Because you will not falsify words and actions around my mouth. You will not put my name in your mouth falsely. Do not speak falsely of others. So let's look forward to talking to Liz. Let's go over Liz's documents while we wait. So it's 8:51. We're gonna give her till 8:10, 9:10. Okay. And yeah, 20 minutes. It's called breaking news. I'm not gonna give you weeks and months to avoid it. Thank you. So, Liz, be lying. Why they be lying? Chat. Hey, chat. Can anybody in this chat answer why they just, when it comes, so that begs the question, do they always lie or do they only lie when it comes to Lane Myers? What do you think, chat? Do you think they always lie or they only lie when it comes to Lane Myers? That's today's question. Do they only lie when it comes to Lane Myers, or are they just lie so much it's just so fucking it's just in fucking what they do, right? They're just like, oh, they've literally just say whatever they want. They're just like, yeah, we can literally say whatever we want, write it on paper, and it's fine. Where it's you know. I love this song. Hey, remember now we got this new channel going. I need to get this new channel going. So if you haven't liked, shared, and subscribed the new channel, this channel is we're partying over here. This is the channel. This is the channel. This is the Felony Freedom Network. But we're gonna start the new. I started a new channel where I'm gonna practice law on the internet on YouTube. Excuse me. I'm gonna give out legal advice, and you can join that. It's this right here. So if you haven't yet, go ahead, join. I mean, excuse me, subscribe, all that. This this is this channel is like we're just some we're just the nonviolent army over here. This is the nonviolent army over here. But then you know what I mean, and everything that ensues with it. We're like the Irish settlers. We just travel around and exercise our rights where we go over here at the Lane Myers Nonviolent Army. Excuse me. But Lane's law office, that's my day job. So that's where I'll be practicing law. It's the official YouTube channel. I'm going to go ahead and make an announcement right now. Welcome to Lane's Law Office. This is the official YouTube channel for Lane's Legal Consulting. Lane Myers is a pro se litigant with extensive experience in pro se litigation and state and federal court, as well as both civil and criminal litigation. This channel is intended to provide free legal advice to pro se litigants, discuss access to justice for pro se litigants, provide step-by-step instructions on how pro se litigants can advocate for themselves, do's and don'ts of pro se litigation, break down successful and unsuccessful pro se filings, plus much more. So that's what that channel is going to be for. And over there, we're going to do a lot of the talking about the legal cases and stuff like that, as it just described. And then we're working on that. And then we got a few other announcements. I need to update the give, send, go. Trying to raise money for freedom over here. Where's the read more? Let's see. It says that I'm working on The New Mexico campground arrest, that's been filed. Both of these have been filed. We've shown those. In fact, we got the service on those yesterday. That's right here. For the state court, we got the summons issued yesterday. The great state of New Mexico. Then we had that lawsuit. Where's it at? I filed a, here it is. Filed this right here. We filed the complaint yesterday, amended it up, added a couple things, spiced it up. We always like to sandbag them at first. So we got that. Miss Marina, thanks. Shout out for the clerks at the First Judicial District. I've been dealing with these clerks for 3 years. Remember Cynthia and shit? Remember, now I'm dealing with the same judges that I had to deal with Crazy Catherine, and the same clerks and all that shit. They love me down at this court. Don't they? Don't they? No. So, what was I saying? Somewhere I had the old GoFundMe up. It's not cheap, I'll tell you that soon, people. So I filed this one, cost me fucking hundreds of dollars, $600 and shit. Filed this one's filed, but you can always pay the filing fee. Because I'm waiting on to proceed indigent, which should be any day now. Then now I'm about to file couple of these. The U-turn arrest, which was ridiculous. Getting arrested for doing a U-turn going into court. They arrested me too. That was dirty, so they're gonna get them back. The Judge Ball lawsuit, that's getting filed. Pima County detectives, when they arrested me on the sidewalk for saying mind your own fucking business. And then the one that I'm currently on probation for, which I don't know what I can put in there because it'll get me arrested for talking about my own case when I went to jail. So I'm not allowed to tell anybody I went to jail because it's a secret. It's a secret. Do you think Liz is going to call me from her vacation home? Scottish. Perfect time. Perfect time for some Scottish partying time. After this. I paid $1,080 for 2 transcripts, John. The transcript from the hearing with the dabbler, I'll show you. It was $900. I'll have the receipt sent right now. I'll show the receipt, as long as it doesn't have the credit card information. Give me a second. $900 for the transcript to my own hearing so I can appeal. Think about that. I wanted to appeal that shit. I'm sitting in jail. I needed a fucking $1,500 in fucking legal fees just to appeal. Because she lied and got away with it. Let me be. Be. Thinking of. Bring me, bring me, bring me, bring me, bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. That's all we want, man, is a higher love. But instead, we got lying Elizabeth. Right now, we're about to go to a higher love, though, a real higher love. 'Cause this is out of love. What we're about to do, everything we do, is out of love. Trust me, it's not hate. We don't hate you, Elizabeth, or we're gonna love you. We actually love you so much, we're willing to rehabilitate you. Just like they gave me a chance, we're gonna give you a chance to be rehabilitated from your lying ways under oath to the Supreme Court. It sets a pattern though, because the law firm of liar, liar down here, the two people whose name I can't say, the only two people on the planet whose name I can't say, if I say these two people's names, they have the same last name but different first names. So it's really only 3 words. 3 words. There's 3 words that I cannot say or I will go to prison, allegedly, depending on who you ask. But those 3 words which we shall not speak for fear of prison. Sounds like a lawsuit to me. Sounds like that's what I should be filing. I should be filing that lawsuit against my probation officers this week. I think that's what I'll do next. I think I can get an injunction against the judge too for putting these conditions on me that are illegal. Basically, all they've done is give me a year, a lawsuit where I can say for the last year my rights have been violated. Because the judge is about to change my conditions at the hearing. We'll see what judge I get now. I don't know what judge I'm gonna have now. I don't know who they'll give me. I'm sure they're gonna bring in some retired. They're gonna either give me the chief judge or they're gonna bring in some retired judge who golfs with people I can't name. But it won't matter. The point is this is all just trust me, everyone. I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to prison. And just trust the process. We just gotta trust the process right now. But the process is the punishment. So you just got to understand that, like, yeah, this shit fucking is stupid. But here's what's going to happen is because, like, it's really quite simple. They're either going to change my conditions or they're not, right? Okay, cool. But before I can take my next step in court, I have to give them their chance. It's kind of like Elizabeth Burton Ortiz. It's like, hey, lady, before I start filing lawsuits and shit against you, I want to give you a chance to clear up what you said. So right now, I'm going to give the court an opportunity to change the conditions of my probation and make them legal, because right now they're not legal. Now, can I sue Metcalf? Yes. Can I get money? No. So there's no point in suing Metcalf for the conditions, but I can sue my probation officers and get money for my probation officers enforcing these conditions for the last year. They've been violating my rights for the last year. Now, again, I have no issues with my probation officers, so it's not like I am in a hurry to sue my probation officers. But if we want to get technical here, it's just business, it's not personal. I could go to court today. I could walk into federal court today and apply for a TRO, a restraining order against my probation and the court. Injunctive relief, though. I'm not talking about money against the court. I could go to federal court right now, walk in there and say, these are my conditions of probation. These conditions are illegal. The federal judge would issue me an injunction saying that these conditions are illegal and they are unenforceable. And then they would say that there's a likelihood of success on the merits in your lawsuit against your probation officers for enforcing these conditions for over a year. So we're going to proceed to trial on your civil rights claims against the officers. But then I would only be seeking injunctive relief against the court, the judge who put these conditions issue. So it's really not against the judge, it's against the conditions. So then I could get a TRO in federal court that says that my probation officer cannot enforce the conditions that I signed, and that if they want me to have conditions, they have to give me new conditions and have me sign those. So either way, I'm going to get new conditions. So like either we're going to go to this hearing and the judge is going to change it, or I'm going to leave that hearing and walk across the street to federal court, and then federal court is going to change it. So all these people are doing is giving me more reasons to take them to court and put them on TV. But it's 9:10 now. So let's humbly follow up. Let's go ahead and follow up with that call. Just want to make sure.
Thank you for calling APAC. This is Britt speaking. How may I help you?
Good morning, Britt. How are you today?
I'm just fine. How are you?
Good. Just calling back. I had spoke to the gentleman 20 minutes approximately. Did he ever get a hold of Miss Ortiz?
Miss Ortiz is not in the office. She won't be back till the 15th.
That's okay. She still has phone service where she's at, right?
She's at a conference and unavailable.
What do you mean? She's at a work conference? Right, okay.
And is unavailable to speak right now. I can certainly leave her a message,
You mean she's
but I don't know when she will be able to get back to you.
You mean she's like currently unavailable to speak like in real time at 9:11 a.m. or like while she's at the conference?
I don't know what her availability will be at the conference, but I can leave her a message.
Okay, I think he did that. I think the message was that if she doesn't call me back in 20 minutes, I'm going to be filing a lawsuit against her in court today. So moving on to the second, oh no, it's her decision. I told you too. So did you plan on, so now that you have all those records ready, right? They should be.
I'm still working on them, as I told you.
Right, so you got till the end of the day, right?
I'm looking
You said
at our email.
July 8th, right?
Let me go back to it. I thought it was July 8th, which is, today is the 7th.
So doesn't July 8th start at midnight?
I will update you if I'm unavailable to, or unable to meet that timeline.
Oh, if they don't come out today, you're getting sued. If they don't come out, if you ask for more time, that would be the biggest mistake you personally have ever made in your professional career. But
I'm doing my best to get the information to you. As I explained, we're a small office, and we're doing our best.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I respect that. I respect you explaining it to me like on a human level, Britt. Like I get it, right? But this is business, you know what I'm saying? And so in business has deadlines and they're enforceable, right? And remember what I talked about, how if this was a private company, you could get fired. for taking too long, but it's the government, so you get a promotion for taking too long. And so the thing is that, you know, you're telling me that you're a small office and all that, but that sounds like something you would need to tell the court, not me, right? That would sounds like you're saying that if I take you to court, your testimony to the court will be like, hey, we're a small office, so we can just take as long as we want and then like continue giving extensions. And then even though we've had this information available for over a year, like I don't really understand. Now, again,
It does take time to coordinate with people to get email records, and that is what I'm doing. I am trying to coordinate with our staff to make sure that we do a thorough search.
I get it.
Would you rather have incomplete information or the full information?
You know what I'd rather have,
I'm trying to
right?
make sure that you get the full
Right,
information.
right. And I'm saying that like,
So
okay.
I'm doing my best to complete that.
Are
and
you
I
a one-man show? Are you a
way.
one-woman show? You don't have no help doing this, or is it just kind of like it's all on you?
That is correct.
Well, typically, from my experience working in these departments, is that what you would do is you get the request in, right? You receive it, and then you send an email out and say, hey, everybody, I have this request, and everybody that has anything that falls under this request, you need to get it to me immediately so I can release it, right? And then so that's the part where you're saying that like you're waiting on other people to come back to you with what you requested, because obviously it's not all on your email. So it's like, hey,
I do have to coordinate with those people to make sure that we have all the records requested.
right. And so this is where like as it moves down the line, you know, so it's like, okay, so I feel confident saying that you, Britt, Miss Wimmer, whatever you want me to call you, have done that, right? I'm positive that you received it, right? And then you put it out there, right? You're like, hey. Now, what I'm not positive of is what happened after it left Britt's hands, okay? Because after it left Britt's hands, it then went into the hands of the people whose files were being requested, right? And those people whose files are being requested have shown a proclivity to lie to the court directly under oath. Those people have shown a proclivity to lie to public records requests, you know, lie and say it doesn't exist when it does. Those, I'm not saying Brit, okay. I'm saying the people whose name I can't say right now because I'll go to prison, but you know whose name I'm talking about is uh he the male. Well, actually I believe they both work there. She's listed as a volunteer, so we're going to need everything from her too. So for some reason this is her own words. The wife is some kind of volunteer coordinator with you. So she obviously has an email under your thing that's going to need to be searched too. And then the husband,
I can tell you that she doesn't have an email with this office, but if you want to put in a public
so you're saying
yeah.
you acknowledge that she's listed as a volunteer, but that doesn't mean that a volunteer gets.
I have never in my time met her in person, so if she volunteered here at one point, she doesn't now.
Well, it's listed right on the website right now that she's a volunteer coordinator with the APAC.
I've never seen that on the website, but once again, if you want to put in a public records request.
No, listen. I don't want to waste your time because I just want to get things, like, you get what I'm saying? I don't want to do frivolous records requests because that's going to even make your time, like, that's going to delay me getting the things you do have even more if I just start shooting from the hip, for lack of a better term. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing shit at the wall and seeing if it sticks. That's not what I want to do. I actually just want to coordinate so that I'm not wasting either of our times. And so that like that I'm only making requests you can fulfill, or at least you can try. You know what I'm saying? There's some coverage of that area in their request. Like, because if you're saying, because like she lists it on her own, like on her own LinkedIn and shit. So like if you're saying that she has no association with you, and that's what you're saying, okay, well then I'll have to look into why she's claiming she's some type of coordinator, volunteer, enrollment. I don't have that pulled up in front of me because I'm live, so I can't show that on the screen or I'll go to prison. But it does exist, and I'll email it to you offline. So that she is claiming, and there actually the husband also has some mention of that also, that he is whatever he is down there. He's certainly a member in some type of.
He may have taught for us at one point. Like I said, it wouldn't have been during my tenure.
You're saying. Okay. So it might have been a thing where like it was a piece, it was a bit by bit thing, not like an ongoing thing. Okay, that's fine. And so yeah. So my concern though, Britt, is like, and again, it's not personal with you. I don't know you. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you live a very well life. You know, like I don't want to enter, but I'm telling you, between the hours, me and you, it's business right now, right? And here's the business. The business is that your ability to fulfill the record request is directly related to the cooperation of the people that you've requested the records from, okay? And it's my belief that what actually is happening here is that the people that you've requested it from are the ones with the feet dragging obstructionism, because because you're not the only one that we've requested records from, and it's be, what I like I told you before when I called a little bit a week or so ago, not the first time, but like a week ago when I asked you about getting them out on July 8th, and you said, yeah, we're working on that, is that they keep asking for extensions to make it go away, not because it's like, well, to me, right, if we were to go to court, you asking for an extension is your admittance that these files exist. So to then say,
I've already told you there are records associated with this. I don't know how many emails from each person. I just know what I've received so far, and there were more than I was anticipating, as I already shared with you.
right, no, and I get that. And what I'm saying is how can we, right? Because like I don't want to point fingers at you if it's something, because I know what you're dealing with also. And like you said, there's stuff, I'm not saying, I was using that as an example. I'm not accusing you of saying that and then I know there's stuff with you, so like that would be silly. But what I'm saying is with these other people, it's all revolving around this central issue. They're claiming things don't exist, or they don't have to. And what I'm saying is that I don't want to make it turn into a situation where it seems like you're just being told by them that, you know, it's coming, it's coming. Like, how can you kind of like put your foot down a little bit and be like, look, because ultimately you're going to be the one that gets sued. I don't know if it's in your personal capacity, but APAC, right? And I'm not going to say that, oh, Britt, it's just business, right? So like the record request, I think 14 days is enough time, right? You think a month, right? And to me, and so I guess that's like what court is for, right? Because the statute doesn't even actually define, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't even define a time, right? Like in other states, it says 10 days, 14 days. You get what I'm trying to say? And so, I was going to use Michigan as an example. It gives you a direct day. Like you have 14 days to fill this. Otherwise, you will be sued in a court of law. And pay $10,000 under if you did. You know what I'm saying? So the Arizona statute is a little different, where it just says reasonable. And then you go to court and you got to argue, well, what's reasonable? And then you're going to say, well, there's a lot of stuff, so it takes longer. And I'm going to say, well, yeah, but if the people that you were asking it from got it to you sooner, it wouldn't take so long. Because are you now saying that you requested it from them the first day and then they took 30 days to give it to you? Or are you saying that you requested it from them, they immediately gave you everything the next day, and you correlating it has been taking this long? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't need to communicate our process to you. What I'm telling you is that I'm doing everything I can to fulfill this in a timely fashion, and I will continue to communicate along the way.
I feel you. Well, here's my thing is like the only communication left is that we receive the records in the next 24 hours.
Well, that is my hope. That the longer we talk, the less time I have to work on this.
Okay, and so that was my concern, is that because we're going to be putting in more. And the thing is that this is what I wanted to clarify also, and I'll get you off the phone right now. So now that you have had these requests and have begun the process of fulfilling them, anybody that has these same requests moving forward should get it within 24 to 72 hours, right? Because it won't take a month for you to release the same records to the next person, right?
If somebody were making the exact same request and we have this one already complete, it would be a simple process.
That's what I mean. You know that I'm telling you right now that we're gonna test you on that, right? I mean, I'm a humble guy. I'm a humble guy. That's what I'm saying. I'm literally calling you. I'm some crazy crazy, crazy. I'm the most dangerous man in America, but I'm literally calling you and telling you what I'm going to do, okay? Ahead of time. I'm telling you that I'm going to put the same request again under a different name, and we're going to see if it takes a month to get the same. Because it's like, okay, well, because we're trained, Britt, all we're trying to do is train our public employees to work better for the public, right? So, like, all this is training. You're just experiencing training like you've never been trained before. So maybe, you know, you're not used to having a boss who trains you in this manner, but I'm telling you, you have a lot of bosses that are going to train you in this manner. We're going to test you, right? We're going to say, all right, so you're going to give us all this stuff. Now, a bunch more people are going to put in the same request. And since you've already released it to one person, you should have it all right there ready to go. And then boom, 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 boom. It shouldn't be no more than a few days, a day or two, whatever. I know it's in the queue, get in the queue type thing. But I'm telling you, you're about to get hit with hundreds of records requests, okay?
And I will address them as quickly as I can, but like I said, this is not the only part of my job.
I appreciate that. And is Elizabeth your boss, or is she just the executive director? She's not necessarily directed.
Elizabeth is my boss.
Well, I'd like you to thank your boss for all the problems she's going to cause you, okay? Make sure you give your boss a thank you card and say thanks, Elizabeth, for and your buddy down there in Tucson, whose name I can't say, whose emails you're giving me. Make sure you tell your buddies that you really appreciate what you're about to experience because of them. Those are great. I only like to work with teammates that are.
We keep it on a respectful tone and.
Oh, it's respectful. I'm
I'm
threatening to, I'm definitely threatening to file a public records request. I don't know what other threats you're talking about. I'm definitely gonna I'm take this as a threat. Take cover, hide under the table. We're gonna file a records request. A lot of them. So if that's a threat, I don't know. If you wanna get into the bomb shelter, I'm gonna drop a bomb on you now. I'm suing Elizabeth in the next few days. So that, I don't know, is that a threat? Or is that like, hey, she's an attorney. She made statements that have put my name in a negative light. She's refusing to talk to me. I'm giving her an opportunity to clarify what she said in this filing. Because to me, when you file something with the Supreme Court, you can't lie. When you're Elizabeth Burton Ortiz, State Bar number 012838, Executive Director, Arizona Prosecuting Attorneys Advisory Council, 3838 North Central Ave, Suite 850, Phoenix, Arizona 85012, phone 602-542-722, Elizabeth.Ortiz at apaac.az.gov. You can't lie to the Supreme Court. You can't. When your name is on the fucking, excuse my language, when your name is on the front page of the website, you can't lie. You get this, right, Brett? And your name's not on this. So I'm not accusing you of lying, Brett. But I also don't want you to get caught. There's a song, Caught in the Crossfire. Nobody's shooting nobody. But there will be, you know what they say, collateral, I won't say damage because nobody's getting damaged. But just by the fact that you work with these people, you're going to be affected by this because you're going to now have to deal with, because you're the one that answers the phone. So how about you give us Elizabeth's direct number and we don't have to bother you every time we want to talk to Elizabeth, right? But she won't do that, right? She'll just have us all call you and the gentleman that answers and you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, yeah. So she's hiding behind you, Britt. So you've been thrown under the bus, for lack of a better term. That's a colloquialism. That's not a threat. Nobody's getting thrown under anything. And so the idea here is that it's accountability from within, because you took an oath, the same oath she did. So turn around and look your boss in the face and say, this is your problem. Don't bring me into it, right? But you wouldn't do that because you might lose your cushy government job, okay? And we know how it works when you work for the government. You just want to work, go home, and check out. You don't want to actually do anything. Nobody at the government wants to be promoted even, because that would mean being recognized and noticed, right? And I don't know you personally, but I'm telling you right now, professionally, that you're going to be a part of this because you're the face of APEC. Except you're not. Excuse me. You're the voice and on the end of the phone. But Elizabeth, when we're sitting here looking at the website, it's Elizabeth handing out awards, right? So she's on the front page handing out awards. She's all over this. She's writing petitions lying to the Supreme Court. But what she doesn't put her number, she puts Apex's number, right? So now Britt and the gentleman that answered the phone, now they got to deal with the effect, the boomerang, the Streisand, whatever you want to call it. If Elizabeth Burton Ortiz wanted to be famous, she certainly chose the right path. Because like now I'm just gonna make videos about her every day. And she ain't gonna do shit about it. And she can call the cops and lie, and you can call the cops and lie and say that people are threatening you, and it's all a lie, and you're just gonna look dumber because all your emails are public record. So if you're gonna talk about me, don't do it on emails that end in .gov, right? But as you just said, there's a lot of material with my name on it in that APAC server. That's not gonna be good for you. Now, is it on Britt's email? I don't know, but because you couldn't even remember the case, or you were pretending you couldn't. But it seems like, remember I was asking for the case number, and I hadn't even seen this petition until today or last night. So had I seen this earlier when I had talked to you the first time, our conversation would have went a little bit different. Because now I see she's put my name and case number in here in a petition to the Supreme Court, but it's a lie. So like she needs to be held accountable. So the thing is that does she want to hide in the bomb shelter, take cover, try to say that we're bothering her? Oh, we're bothering her. It's legal to bother the government. You know what I mean? That's all we can do. We're not going to hurt you. We're not going to fight you. We're not going to attack you. We're going to clown you on the internet. We're going to get all the records. We're going to sue you, make her come to court and go under oath. Because I don't think Elizabeth Ortiz can back these statements up she made to the Supreme Court under oath. And so if she made them to the Supreme Court, and she can't say them under oath. Do you see the dilemma, Britt?
Sure. I'm not going to continue this conversation.
Well, you've pretty much been
Do you
listening.
want me to get back to work on your public records request, or do you want me to keep having this
Yeah. I want you to get that one tied up because you're going to get a couple hundred more.
You have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye. Gas it up. I'm over here dropping legal bombshells. Threats. They love to throw that word threat. Hey, how come when you call a private company, they never say they're threatening you? Or they say, oh, threat. That's a threat. It's a threat. So let's go over these lies by Elizabeth Lying Ortiz, who's at a conference telling lies, and she's probably teaching people how to lie. And yeah, self-describe. The person that the female version of the people I can't talk about, somehow she was a volunteer there. These people admit it for clout. They're like, oh yeah, here's what I did. I was the I worked at the APAC as the volunteer something coordinator. And they like put that on their thing so that it looks like they get clout. No, I haven't seen it. Is it scary or let's go. Let's look her up. Britt Wimmer. Britt Wimmer. Let's look it up. I've been advised to look up Britt Wimmer. Tap me in. Chat me in. See how they like to give out that why would the director not be able to be contacted directly? Britt Wimmer. What does it come up with? Okay. Amon Barker. Okay, Britt, we see you. Jacob, we see you. Tracy, we see you. Oh, Laura Conover is the. Wait a second. Wait a second. Laura Conover. Why is Laura Conover down here? Laura Conover, we got to get all her emails now too. Got to get them all. Oh, what you gonna do when they come for you? Records requests. Records requests. Oh my God. Stop, bro. We don't make fun of women because of their looks, bro. Chris Mays. The motto here, it's all pink on the inside. Hey, Ellen Merritt, Tucson City Prosecutor Brad Miller. Ooh. Ooh, Rachel Mitchell. Should we call the Phoenix FBI and let them know I'm making threats? Oh boy. I don't know, man. They love to say that you're threatening them because you said, hey, I just want, let's see, APAC. This is their website. There's the liar right there. Look at her. She's all over the front page. But she can't take a call? She can't take a call. Hey, should I call back and say Elizabeth Burton Ortiz is a crooked ass prosecutor? Well, let's get the consensus. Let's get the public's opinion about this publicly available public information. So, we need a song. Let's get this song going.
I'm gonna take a little trip on down to Mexico. I'm gonna fabricate my life to someone I don't know. I'm gonna tell her that I've never ever felt this way. Do the
What's up,
same
Tommy?
again in Canada and USA. I'm gonna drink all that I can and wash my worries away. I'm gonna party with the tartan.
I see Swanson's going for governor.
Singing scrollers on fire to free from desire. Your defenses terrified. I'm gonna quit my 9 to 5 and get a massive loan. I'm gonna squander every penny before I go home. My wife is probably gonna leave and take the kids away, but at least I'll have an epic time in USA. I'm gonna soak up all the atmosphere wherever I go. I wanna feel the fever running through me head to toe. Singing scrollers on fire to free from desire. Your defenses terrified. And when the tournament is over and it's time to leave, and my anxiety is kicking and it's hard to breathe, and the fear is slowly trying to infiltrate my brain, I'm gonna swear I'm never ever gonna drink again, and my life will be in ruins. I'll be feeling bad, but I can always reminisce about the time I
I wonder if Liz gets I wonder if when Liz goes to the bar every night in America, she gets her titty sucked while drunk and having a seizure. We won't be doing that to her, but we're gonna make some calls.
Hello.
Hey, good morning, Matt. Please speak to Michael. How you doing, sir? I'm calling. My name's Lane Myers. I'm a Tucson local. I'm calling because I got your number from the petition to the Supreme Court about the. You know how you said you filed. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to call it, a supplement to it or whatever, where you said you were the U of A's journalism and all that, and right? Remember, you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
All right, so I was wondering, like, what was your experience with Rule 122? Because I'm the person that is the reason that they even put this in. See, nobody, like they said, since 2013, nobody had a problem, and then all of a sudden, one day, I'm Lane Myers, I came along, and I was arrested for booing at the city council meeting while other people were clapping. So then I started going to court, and I started using Rule 122 in the Tucson City Court. And this one prosecutor got all butthurt because I exposed him on YouTube. And so then he started filing all this stuff. He actually convinced his wife to pretend to be a victim of harassment and all this shit, saying that, oh, it's she's a government employee, but you're harassing her. So anyways, is your comment, I appreciate that because it's very important. Is what ends up happening is I noticed that you commented on this one, but they had already tried this last year. So this all started last year, last January. This person, this city prosecutor, who I'm not allowed to say his name or I'll go to prison, but I'm sure you probably know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I know who he is.
yeah. So he got exposed. So I came to court. I exposed him for lying and all this. And so his retaliation was last year to file the same type of petition. And he actually, in his petition, he put my YouTube channel in my court case as a reason. But what he didn't realize, but his example is I had gotten 2 injunctions for harassments against me, against somebody you probably know, Stacey Jane from the U of A. She got smoked in court. So what ends up happening is these 2 people put an injunction for harassment on me, and I took them to court to fight it. I fought that I had I was live streaming the court hearing, but here's the thing. So does the court. The court has its own YouTube channel. So I don't see what the difference is. But so I was live streaming it, and I got the injunctions dismissed because they were never valid. So the quote, in his petition last year, he put a link to my YouTube channel as the reason that this needs to get changed is because Lane Myers had this court date. Well, it was a court date where I used my right to a public trial. The judge let me use the rule, and I beat 2 cases in one day. So he was mad. That's what happened. And you know how they like to protect each other. So then he goes and throws that petition in. Well, meanwhile, he's behind the scenes trying to turn his wife into some professional victim. They're trying to coordinate and corroborate some made-up story about how I was harassing him. Somehow you can harass a government employee, but I guess it's something new because nobody's ever heard of it. But so anyways, they make charges on me and shit. And then all the people on the last petition, if you go and look at the first petition from last year, you'll see it's all people that were prosecuting me or people that were supporting me. The entire petition was people saying, oh, you're only doing this because you got exposed. And then it was Laura Conover and them saying, oh, we need to do this because we're getting exposed. And they Laura Conover joined the petition after she indicted me on a bunch of felonies. So then fast forward that to this one that you commented on, and it was from the court itself. However, if you go down, you'll see the comment from Elizabeth Burton Ortiz, a couple below yours where she she lied. First of all, let's get that out of the way. She lied and said that then she put the case number of my case and all that, which happened 9 months after this. So like she literally used the case that happened 9 months after the petition to try to say that this is, so it was like she literally lied, and now she put my name on there, and so now I'm going through it, and I'm gonna be filing a lawsuit against her in the next few days for defamation. And then also like I'm just calling to see if you wanted to like say why you support it, or what's your, like, obviously you pretty much laid it out. My thing is why do you why, because you were tied in. If you were at the U of A, you know, over there, but why do you think a prosecutor would want to have secret court?
I don't know why. The reason I filed that petition or filed my comment is that I'm an old school newsman. I was a newsman and a journalist for 45 years. I still am, for that matter, because I still write for the Arizona Daily Star. Every couple weeks I write an article, an opinion piece for the Star. And I just feel like that we need to have full access to the courts. And if they start shutting down what you can record or film or whatever in the courts, it's less transparency. So that's why I filed.
And you're speaking, and I appreciate you doing that, and you're speaking from the journalism perspective, all right? Now imagine being the defendant facing 100 years in prison for YouTube videos that showed. So they gave me felonies. You know how you can, if you've been doing this a long time, you can go to Superior Court and you can pay money for like so either sometimes there's a lady that types the hearing or they record it. You can pay $35 and they'll give that to you. Well, I did that and I posted it on my YouTube channel and they gave me felonies. I was facing 40 to 100 years in prison, sitting in jail for 4 months with no bond because I posted court hearings on my YouTube court hearings that the judge gave me permission to record. But the person that was you know who I'm talking about, had their feelings hurt despite being a government employee. And so why, it's like, well, they're completely taking away the defendant's right to a fair trial. Like, you're speaking from a journalism perspective. I am also. So why would it be any different if the defendant wants to be the journalist for his own case? And what's crazy in my case, sir, is the first day the judge banned all media from my, how can the judge ban all media from somebody's court hearings? He banned all media for the entire case. How can you ban media from my trial?
Well, you can't. The judge can do that, but he also has to ban everyone. It's not just the media.
Yeah, you're saying close the courtroom.
If he closes his courtroom, it has to be closed to all spectators, not just the media.
And that's what I tried to argue.
I know that for a fact because when I was an editor at a newspaper in California, I had a lawyer file objections to that when they were trying to shut it down just to the media.
I was filing objections while incarcerated to that. I was saying, hey, I want the media there. I'm the defendant. I have the right to a fair trial, a public trial. It's an Arizona constitutional right. It's an Arizona constitutional right to have a public trial, which includes the media. There's case law that goes back 100 years saying that the media, that they can kick out the public. They can kick out.
Hang on.
Sorry.
I know the law.
Right.
I know the law. You don't have to explain the law to me.
Right.
Do you have a lawyer?
Oh, I'm my own lawyer right now, but
Do you have a law degree?
No. I just pretend.
You need to get a lawyer.
To do what,
Get a
though?
lawyer. What?
And what is it that I would need to, because right now I'm on probation.
Well, are you going to file a suit? You said you're
Oh
going to
yeah. I've already have. Yeah, definitely. I'm filing one about about her comments in the petition. That's defamation. But as far as the 122, the only thing that can be done is you file a special action. So see, my thing, sir, is that's why I can't believe this woman lied about this. Here's the issue. I was never denied 122. Okay, I went to court 100 times in a year, and no judge ever told me no. And that's why all these prosecutors are mad, is because the judge kept saying he's allowed to record. It's his court date. It's the rule. He's allowed to record. No, I'm not going to tell. So the problem wasn't the judges or me. I did it exactly by the book. I put in my notice. The judge approved it. The state had a meltdown. The state argued at every hearing why we shouldn't be. But think about it, sir. It's being recorded. It's being transcribed, and it's being broadcast. Most of the courtrooms now have their own YouTube thing that you can request them. So literally, I'm sitting there at the defendant table with my phone broad streaming or live streaming, but so is the court live streaming it too. And the prosecutor's arguing that I should not be able to do it while the court simultaneously doing it, but they're not arguing that the court should stop the stream. You get what I'm saying? They just didn't want, it's like saying they didn't want it on the Arizona Star page because we don't like the Arizona Star versus like, oh yeah, we don't care if the court prints it. See, that's what I'm getting at here. And so this is all this. I'm the reason this whole thing, this 100%. And we're going to have all the emails, and I'll email them to you. We'll get them all tomorrow. By tomorrow, they said we're going to have all the public records requests regarding this. And so you're going to see the one guy who shall remain nameless on this phone call. This one person is single-handedly retaliating against me, has now brought all these things into the Supreme Court, all this stuff, just because I beat him in court and I exposed him in court. And this is his personal vendetta against me. They can't even help themselves. One guy. And what's crazy, Michael, is that I followed the rules. The way they're making it seem like there was a bunch of people breaking the rules. No, what ended up happening is I'm smart enough to read the rules and follow them by the book. So all I did was say, here's the rules. I'm following them by the book. Now the rules are, first it was Lane Myers is the problem. Now it's, well, the rules are a problem. You see?
Well, I've read the Rule 122 and 122 point whatever it is.
It's point one, yeah.
Changes and I've actually talked to a First Amendment lawyer about who used to be a lawyer for me when I worked in the industry full time, and he's actually involved on the Supreme Court committee looking at this, and he's fighting it. Listen, I appreciate you calling me and talking to me.
No, I respect you.
I'm about to go into a doctor's appointment, so I got to go.
Hopefully you get good news, sir. I'm gonna email you when I get some stuff. I'm not gonna like bother you, but you know what I'm saying. We might have different tactics, but we want the same end goal. So I appreciate you. Okay. Have a good one, sir. Thank you. Bye. The Lane Myers Law.
Yes.
Hello, sir. Could I speak to Mark?
Who's calling?
I'm Lane Myers.
And what can I do for you, Lane?
Yeah, I'm calling because I came across your submission on the rules form of the Supreme Court regarding the rule changes to rules 122 and 122.1. You had submitted a comment to their petition, and I just wanted to get some background on that with you. Because
Lane, who do you represent?
I represent myself. I'm the person who they're if you're familiar with the petition, they should just rename the petition the Lane Myers Law. I'm the reason this petition exists because I exposed a corrupt prosecutor in Tucson so bad that it went from we hate the guy, now we got to get, because all I did was follow the rules. I didn't break the rules. But now they're mad that I followed the rules. See, first it was, oh, he can't do that, but the rules and all the judges allowed me to use it the whole time. The judges said, I'm granting Lane Myers, I was pro se, use of the rule. He can record and live stream his own court dates. I was following the rules. The judges agreed with me. No judge ever told me to stop. But what happened is now the prosecutors are mad.
a second here.
Yep.
Okay. So you were charged with a crime, and you went to trial, or you had proceedings.
Yep.
And you filed a request
A
to
notice.
use your camera.
Yeah, notice. Yeah, notice. Yep.
Under Rule 122.
Yep.
As it now stands. It's now amended.
Yeah, before all these petitions and shit, like the rule that's been there for 20 years. Yep.
Right. So you filed it
Yep.
as a person who is being prosecuted.
Yep. Defendant.
Okay. And did you record the court proceedings, or what did you do?
Yeah, I mean the rule is that you can only have it on. I put my notice in because I want a public trial, right? So I have the right to a public trial in the state of Arizona. So there's nothing saying that I shouldn't be able to be my own journalist and my own defendant. So the thing is I would put the request in, the judge would grant it, and I would have it sitting there, and I would have it audio only, not video, sitting on the table next to me at my iPhone, sitting on the table, just recording audio. What would end up happening is that I would win. I got arrested 50 times. I got charged with 54 charges in 1 year, and 52 of them got dismissed by the judge for lack of a probable cause. I'm a First Amendment auditor. I should have probably put that in. I'm not a First Amendment auditor, but I'm a First Amendment. I'm one of those guys with the First Amendment and a camera. You get what I'm trying to say? And so
wait a minute. So you were charged with what?
I went to the city. Yeah, so that's even crazier, sir. I went to the city council meeting, Tucson City Council meeting, and the mayor gave a proclamation declaring it. She said, "Oh, we're going to declare tonight whatever it is," and then they started clapping. While at the exact same time they were clapping, I booed. I got arrested, 4 charges. I got kicked out of the meeting, arrested, 4 charges, and went to court for 6 months. And going to court for being arrested for booing while others were clapping. If you're familiar with the Rebecca Massey case up there in Surprise, me and her basically had the same thing happen to us within a couple weeks of each other. And so mine happened first. And so I'm going to court now for being arrested for booing at the city council meeting, and I'm recording it, right? Because these low courts don't have, these are basically courts of no record. You know, because what ended up happening is I went to my first hearing and I didn't ask to record. And then after the hearing, I went down there and I asked to pay the $17 to get an audio official recording from the court. And they claimed that the judge forgot to turn it on. And I said, "Oh, he forgot to turn it on. How convenient that he forgot to turn it on." And so I said, so the next time I came back from here on out, I'm recording my own court date. And so you can't say, "Oh, we forgot to turn it on." It's on. I turned it on. And so that's how this started. Well, then I exposed this one prosecutor over and over and over and over, and the judges just kept granting me everything. All my cases dismissed. Everything they would file would get denied. I was basically single-handedly beating 34 cases in like 2 months. I beat 34 charges in 2 months. And charges, I mean like disorderly conduct for saying fuck on the sidewalk, or wearing a hat and a red hat and walking down the sidewalk through Tucson, where you can't really do that because you'll be arrested, because people will start screaming at you for wearing a red hat, and then it's disorderly conduct. You get what I'm saying? And so that kind of thing. And then so all stupid charges, all public sidewalk, public recording, First Amendment, they would slap type stuff. They would arrest me. I would slap it down. Oh, yeah, okay. You know, the judge, you can't arrest the guy for booing during the meeting. So what ended up happening is I went through a whole 6 months of cases, got everything dismissed, all live on my YouTube channel. Well, that got him super mad. That got him super, super mad, because at every hearing, the prosecutor would argue why I shouldn't be allowed to record my own hearing, and the judge would turn them down. I'm telling you, sir, every single one of my hearings started with the state arguing why I shouldn't be able to record my own court hearing. And the judge saying, "Stop arguing this. You're wasting time. I'm not going to tell him he can't. It's the rules. The rules say he's allowed to do it. It's the Supreme Court rules. I can't overrule the Supreme Court." And the prosecuting got so mad that, because, you know, this petition you submitted to, was first filed last year. So while these cases I'm talking to you about, immediately during these cases, this prosecutor from Tucson went and filed the first one. This actual thing that you submitted on actually started last year with the first petition. They put the first petition in against me, and if you go read it, you'll see it's started by the prosecutor who lost in court to me for the booing case, and he references my YouTube channel in the petition, saying here's why, he puts a link to my channel in one of the videos as why this rule needs to be changed. But the issue, sir, is the link is to a video of me going to court for these, because they would put injunctions, or these government employees would try to put injunctions on me, and then I'd go to the hearing and they would get dismissed. So because they can go get them ex parte, but then of course you can't get an injunction against a news reporter. And so they would so then I'd have the hearing, I would fight it, I'd come to court live, and in one day I did two. I had two injunction hearings back to back. That's how many of these injunctions they were giving me. It was comedy. So they would so it got to the point where I had to do two in one day. So I beat the first one. It was a U of A law professor. The director of the U of A law school tried to get an injunction on me for calling her and asking her for help. One phone call asking her for help. She put an injunction on me because they're all buddies down there. They gave it to her. I took her to court to fight it. They're all buddies. The prosecutor at U of A, you know how it works. U of A, the law school, they drink wine together and stuff. So she puts this injunction on me. It fails live on the internet. All right, well, now they get together in the back room and they go and put this petition to try to get, first it was, I'm the problem. Well, the judge said I could do it. So now, the only way we're going to stop this is to change the rule, because the judge is going to keep following the rules and letting them do this. So we got to hurry up and change the rules to stop them. So last year they put one in 5 minutes before the deadline. The deadline is January 10th at 6 p.m. This prosecutor who I exposed, he put it in January 10th at 5:51. He had literally 9 minutes before he couldn't file it. That's how rushed in that last second. And he goes, oh yeah, the reason we need the rule change is because this guy came to court and recorded his hearings. Okay, well then a bunch of people submitted like you did. Tons of people, all on my side, saying the only reason you're doing this because he exposed you is because he exposed you. And then there's the only two people in support of it are the prosecutor who I beat in court, the next prosecutor I beat in court, and the prosecuting attorney's counsel. So then that was the first one. Okay, now come to this one. So then that one didn't go through. Last year they tried it. It went through, it went through the process. It never worked. It didn't get, you know what I mean? Whatever, I don't know enough about it, but I can tell you right now, they tried last year and it didn't work. And so now they're trying it again. And this is the one you commented on. And that's why I'm calling you, is because I'm the person.
Stop.
Yep.
Okay. Tell me your last name again. First name is Lance?
Lane Myers. Lane Myers. Yeah.
Lane Myers. Okay. And tell me if I'm correct. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm just trying to understand everything.
Yep.
So you're kind of a provocateur in the public space. You use your First Amendment protections to speak at public meetings, to speak on the street and using political speech or some other speech that's protected by the First Amendment.
Yes.
And for those actions, you have been prosecuted by the Pima County attorney. And
54 times.
Okay. And since these are low-level charges, I assume they're misdemeanor charges.
Well, no, then after I beat the first 34 misdemeanors, then they cranked it up to 20. They hit me with 20 felonies at once.
Okay, so
beat those too, though.
So there's an escalation.
Oh yeah, yep.
Of pressure by the Pima County Attorney's Office.
Oh yeah, they're the main ones commenting.
Most of these cases are not what local media would consider high-profile cases.
The media got banned from my case, sir. Day one, the judge banned the media, but he didn't ban anybody else. Think about that for a second. He banned the media, but nobody else.
How could he ban the media?
He issued an order, and he had people arrested when they showed up and tried to be the media. 3 people got arrested trying to show up and they tried to come there and.
Were these bona fide news organizations?
We're talking KOLD. He wouldn't let nobody come there. He wouldn't let YouTube journalists. He wouldn't let independent journalists. He wouldn't let ABC 15. He wouldn't let Dave Biscabing. Nobody's coming, but anybody else can. Think about that. That's the exact opposite of how it's supposed to be.
So he closed the courtroom.
No, sir, and that's the bigger problem. And I've been trying to fight this in court. Is he didn't close the courtroom? He just wouldn't allow media coverage.
Well, he wouldn't allow camera coverage.
He wouldn't allow any coverage. Period.
So no reporter could go into the courtroom and sit down and take notes.
And he issued a court order that they would be arrested if they tried.
Okay, that sounds odd.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. He got removed. He got removed from the bench. The judge got removed from the bench shortly after this.
Okay.
Metcalf.
You should know, Lane, if you don't already, that in the state of Arizona, the most aggressive anti-camera judicial entity are the Pima County courts.
Oh, by far.
Historically, I'm talking, for
Yeah, because you've been doing this a lot longer than me. My experience started when the day I got arrested. I had never been to court.
Yeah.
I've never been arrested.
Getting a recording device inside a Pima County courtroom has been very challenging, and there's been very, very few that have been allowed. In my time.
That's because and you know why? Because I was willing to get arrested for it, and I got arrested for it. I was willing to tell them that I'm going to record, and the only way to stop me is to take me to jail. And I would call their bluff, and one of them did, but then he quit. One of the judges got removed, and one of them had to resign, all from my cases. And so because of this, because they're trying to make up rules as they go. Think about it. We have a constitutional right in Arizona to have a public trial. I'm facing 20 felonies. I want the news there. I want the news covering it. I'm not the one claiming that I'm going to be prejudiced. I'm not the one claiming that it's going to make people, the jury, you get what I'm saying? You've been around all the arguments that they can try to make to say that, oh, the defendant, he killed this lady and sexually this and that, and we don't want that all over the news. That's not what was going on here. I was beating the table, willing to get her. I was literally getting arrested in court saying that I want a public trial. It's my right to have a public trial, and there's nobody more available to exercise that right than me with my own phone standing next to me at the defense table, okay? And I'm telling you, sir, every single court date started with the state arguing for secret court and the judge saying he's following the rules, there's nothing I can do. And so what ended up happening is all the mainstream media was like following me and shit, but I used the F word too much to put me on the 6 o'clock even news. So it's like, well, how are we being banned? A blanket ban but you see what I'm saying? Usually that means a closed courtroom. But anybody could come in there, they just couldn't be the media. And they were confiscating at the door. They were making you they were literally making people empty their pockets in front of them at the door. At the courtroom door, you will be arrested if you enter in here with something. And three local YouTubers came down there and did it anyways, got arrested, and they tried to file a lawsuit about it, but they filed it in the wrong court, and that's a different story. But
under Rule 122.
Yeah.
Once the decision is made as to whether, I'm talking about the current Rule 122. Once the decision is made that the court is open or closed to recording devices, they have a right to control that. We agreed to that when we worked on the current version of Rule 122 back in 2012 or whenever that was.
That's under 122C. That's for video, not for audio. For recording audio only, it's a different rule. It's 122H. And you don't need permission. All you got to do is request notice or give notice. And yeah, they can control it. And there's a few little controls that they can do. You can't record you can only audio record when they're on the bench. You know what I mean? There's you can't just record everything.
I
Right.
But what I'm saying is, if the application was made to the presiding officer, the judge, and the judge rules, for whatever reason he or she rules, that there is no recording device or no camera in the courtroom, then unless somebody is willing to go to ask for a hearing, have that hearing, take the results of that hearing to an appeal can stop.
That's only for video. For audio, there's no stopping it. It says right in the rule. It says that don't tell me no, sir. It's right in the rule. I'm literally, the petition is about me. And there's nobody that knows this rule better than me. It's 122H, where permission is not required. No, because if you're going to speak, you got to speak correctly, sir. You can't gaslight me with things that aren't true just because you've been doing it longer than me.
Look, I'm not trying to gaslight anybody.
Well, 122H, you're talking wrong. You're wrong, though. Admit you're wrong and allow yourself to be educated on 122H, because I'm talking about audio only, and you're not required to request permission. The judge doesn't get to rule on it. There's no hearing about it. It's, I'm audio recording. Have a nice day. The judge doesn't get to rule on it. The judge doesn't get to decide. He doesn't get to take objections from the state. Now, for video recording from somebody who is not the defendant, or the camera is not on the person, 122H means a recorder that is on the person. It means that an audio recorder sitting on the table in front of you, which lawyers do. Every good lawyer comes to court and records it so they can go back and get their own transcript without having to pay the court for the transcript. You can audio record without permission. You just have to give notice. That's all I was doing. Audio recording only, with it on my person. It's very clear in the rule. No judge ever disagreed with me. So your statement that a judge can overrule it is not true, because every single judge stated in open court that he's following the rules and I can't overrule it. Now, what you're talking about is Rule 122C, where you put in a request. I didn't make a request. I told them I'm recording. That's different. You're requesting to record, which is a different process. You're requesting video coverage as the news. I'm telling them I'm recording as the defendant at the table. That's different. That's 122H. That's not 122C, which is the request, which then under 122D gives them the parameters of holding the hearing and why they can and can't deny it and all that. That's completely separate than this issue. The issue in the petition you commented on is not what you're talking about. The issue in the petition you commented on is that Lane Myers came in there and told the court he's going to record, and there's nothing the court can do about it, and he did that. Lane Myers came in, he said, I'm recording, there's nothing you can do about it. I sat there and recorded, and I went home. Now they're mad because they realized Lane Myers was right. He was following the rule. First, they kept arguing in court while I was applying the rule wrong, but the judges consistently said Lane Myers is following the rule, and there's no legal mechanism for you to argue against this. So sit down and stop talking about him recording at every court date. One of the judges was gonna hold the state in contempt if they brought it up again, because they kept trying to start every hearing, delaying the hearing, trying to argue, and the judge consistently told them, he gave us notice, there's nothing we can do, stop asking. So the problem is not the judge's permission. The problem is the rule. They want the rule changed to make it so that the judge can rule whether you can or not. Because right now, anybody with two legs can walk in that courtroom and start recording. As we speak right now, I could go down there while we're live on this call, we're talking this call, go to court, and I could spend every day walking into every courtroom in Pima County, and they'll let me do it. Now, will they let you do it? They'll be like, I don't know, man, why? They'll let me do it because they know I'm going to cause a scene if they don't. And that's how you stand up for your rights. You don't silently run away with your tail between your legs.
Lane,
What?
why did you call me? What do you need me for?
I'm calling to get you, you commented. I wanted to see what like your impetus is, like what was your involvement, your skin in the game. This petition is specifically because of me, and they mentioned my name and my court cases in both of them. So like I'm very involved in this because they're now going to the Supreme Court because they didn't like that I followed the rules, sir. I followed the rules, and that got me charges.
So Lane, my views on this are in my response to the petition to change the rules.
Right.
Those are my views.
Okay.
My view is that the rule as it is right now works if it's enforced, and that while life has certainly changed and people who consider themselves to be journalists, or people who operate YouTube channels, or people who are self-employed in chronicling the activities of courts exist in a larger number than they did back when the rule was last amended. Yes, all of that is true, but to me, that's not a reason to advance the new rules, which are quite restrictive.
Yeah, they want secret court, sir. They want secret court. Why would they want secret court if they're not doing anything? To me, what didn't make sense to me is if I'm the defendant, right? I'm the one accused of the crime, and I'm saying I want court, I want news, I want coverage, but the state, the ones accusing me of the crime, the ones who don't, I have a right to a fair trial, they don't. The state doesn't have a right to a fair trial. The state can only arrest you if it's valid. So like what? Of course it's going to be fair from the state because they have legal. You get what I'm trying to say? So why would the state want? Why would prosecutors want secret court? Why wouldn't they want everybody to see how they're taking down this criminal? And like if I'm such this dangerous criminal, shouldn't they want the whole world to know how they took me down? But it seems like they just wanted nobody to know what was going on at my court date.
So what my understanding, my understanding is what they are concerned about. At least this is what they claim to be concerned about.
Right.
I can only act on what they claim to be concerned about.
They're good actors.
Well, whatever. Is that they are concerned that they're going to lose control of their courtroom through the video, audio capabilities of telephones.
Yeah, they tried that argument a couple of times, sir, and here's what I said. They tried that a couple of times, and here's what I argued in court, and the judge ruled in my. Yeah.
I'm just telling you, this is what they're concerned about.
No. I'm agreeing with you, sir. I'm agreeing with you, and I'm going to give you a couple examples of when they tried to use the argument you just made in court and what I argued, and the judge ruled in my favor, right? They argued that, sir. The prosecutor tried to argue that it was going to cause disruptions and all that, and the judge said, how is a phone sitting on the table going to cause a disruption? You're making more of a disruption by talking about it. That's what he told the prosecutor.
Okay, again, so Lane, your role, as I understand it, is to be a First Amendment provocateur.
No, I'm just a First Amendment support advocate.
Yeah, you're a provocateur.
No, I don't actually. I'm not. So I'm correcting you on that. I'm going to make sure I can. Every time you say that, I'm going to correct you. I'm not. I'm a guy who was minding his own business. I'm a guy who was minding his own business and got arrested. Okay, that's all. And then I started documenting my cases. No, I'm not. I'm not somebody who goes out and does anything or anything. Everything that I've put on my YouTube channel is directly correlated to my court appearances. I don't go out and look for reasons to talk about the First Amendment. But when you falsely arrest me, then the only things I have are I can go to court and exercise my First Amendment to cover my own case, talk about my own case. But I actually got charged with 20 felonies for showing court documents of my own case.
Are you familiar with the Sam Shepard case?
Is that in Arizona?
No.
No, I'm not then.
Are you familiar with the Richard Speck case?
I don't watch TV. I pretty much mountain bike. I'm a professional mountain biker and I hang out in the woods.
Okay, well, so I'm going to give you some background here. Okay, you are familiar with the Jodi Arias case, correct?
No, but I can Google it. What are these? Are these cases of like where the media was on trial or where the media wanted access?
So no, this is what these cases represent.
Okay.
This issue about putting cameras and recording devices in courtrooms dates back to the 1930s and 1940s. And if you watch old movies about courtroom cases, you'll see photographers in the courtroom with flash bulbs and big, movie style cameras recording proceedings, because once upon a time it was the Wild West in those courtrooms. And both prosecutors and defense attorneys took advantage of all of that. Okay.
Yeah, the prosecutors use the news all the time, but now they were arguing against it for me.
And so do defense attorneys.
Right.
How they protect their clients.
That's what I was always trying to do, is protect my own ass. And usually the prosecutor loves running a fucking suspect through the news.
You want to hear?
Go ahead.
Background?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So in Cleveland, in the 1950s, there was a doctor. His name was Sam Shepard.
Okay.
Okay, and he was accused of murdering his wife. It was a first-rate tabloid trial. The nation was enamored with it. They couldn't get enough of it. And the courtroom was a complete zoo with media and chaos. And I can't remember if Shepard was convicted or not, but whether he was convicted or not is not as relevant as to the disruption that was created by the news media. At that time, cities had multiple newspapers, television was new, radio was relatively new, and there was a lot of chaos in the courtroom.
I got it pulled up. It looks like he was acquitted at a new and fair trial in 1966. He was acquitted, yet many still refuse to accept the not guilty.
Right. But the disruption in the first trial was what led to the second trial.
Yeah, it says that it was labeled a mockery of justice.
Yes. Okay. Now, in I believe 1966 or 65, a drifter named Richard Speck somehow got into the apartment of 7 or 8 nurses in Chicago. It may have been that one of the nurses brought him home from a bar.
Okay.
Okay. And he murdered them all.
I got that pulled up. American mass murderer, Richard Speck.
Yeah.
Okay.
In horrific ways. Again, just this massive tabloid feeding frenzy of a trial. And, same thing happened with him as what happened with the folks in
the Shepherd.
In Ohio. Same thing. Chaos. Okay. But by this time, in the early 1970s, late 60s, early 1970s, the news media had matured, meaning it had gotten more sophisticated and larger and consolidated, and people began to ask whether or not we should allow cameras in courtrooms, because many states had banned by that. They were not permitted.
That's crazy.
And they just weren't. Okay, and it was that was cited as a reason. Okay, you guys can't behave yourself. You're out of control. You're disrupting things. Jurors are intimidated.
Well, the technology then too, where you had to use the flash bulbs, and there were giant cameras, and there was cords everywhere, and there was microphones everywhere, and
yeah. So, in the late 1970s, in Wisconsin and Iowa, which are progressive states, at least Iowa was at the time. It's not now, but
you can say that again.
Progressive, normal state. And Wisconsin was socialist.
I don't think anything's changed.
So they began to construct, with the help of a group called the Radio Television News Directors Association, the RTNDA, they began to construct a procedure and a process for allowing cameras in the courtroom, recording devices in the courtroom, and that's where we arrived at the pool concept.
Right.
Okay.
Pool reporters.
The camera would
right.
be in, and everybody would use the same footage, and there were rules and regulations, and the TV stations and radio stations worked together to accommodate it. And judges, especially chief judges, people who ran the courts, became convinced that it would be better for the system and for people's understanding of the system if they could demonstrate their craft and they
Right.
could do it in a very in a manner that was included protocol. So that flourished. That system flourished for many years. Then the O.J. Simpson trial hit, and that was a game changer because that was probably the first major live trial. The live capability was there. It was obviously a very sensational trial, and it became very clear throughout that trial that the prosecutor, the defense, and the judge became very enamored with cameras and celebrity and began to play to that. So that brought out all of the chaos in the next decades and debates.
Coming to like then OJ really, you know what I mean? Because I didn't really know. I'm early 40s, so like that it wasn't really like you would hear about people being arrested, but it wasn't like court was like on TV everywhere you went until OJ. Then it was like literally 8 hours a day, every channel you went to, it was cameras in the OJ courtroom.
Right, and there was a guy, his name is Stephen Brill. Stephen Brill created Court TV.
Off OJ, right? Basically.
Yes.
Right.
Off of OJ.
Right.
But Brill is Brill is he's still alive. He's an ethical, solid journalist, and he really did believe that cameras would make things better, and that he pointed out that the issue wasn't the camera in the courtroom. The issue was bad behavior by the prosecutor, by the judge, and by the defense attorney.
And that's what I'm arguing right now. And that's my issue is that why are you scared to hide?
Let's fast forward to Arizona and the Jodi Arias trial, which took place, I believe, around 2012 or 13. I can't remember.
Is this the woman that's on death row?
Yes.
For the killing her own kid in the bathtub or something down in Tucson?
No, that's not her.
Oh, okay.
So this woman
rolled her up in the carpet or something?
This woman was a very attractive, petite woman who got involved with this guy.
Travis Alexander?
Yeah, Travis Alexander.
Okay.
And she alleges that he was extremely abusive to her sexually, physically. He was a maniac. And one night she murdered the shit out of him in his shower. That was gruesome. And she was very telegenic. She did interviews from jail.
I was trying to do that too. I was doing interviews from jail and they tried to argue I can't do that. It was insane.
Well, yeah, that's been an ongoing argument. But in this case, in Maricopa County, the sheriff at the time was Joe Arpaio. And Arpaio loved...
Oh, he loves the camera.
He loved the camera and he loved jailhouse interviews. And they accommodated them to the utmost. So this became a very sensational trial. And it was probably the first time in Arizona, this had happened in Florida with trials, but the first time in Arizona where mass amounts of bloggers and YouTubers and, people who didn't work for CNN.
Yeah, it says on the People, I got a People magazine article, it says the trial was it was considered one of the biggest spectacle trials to take place since OJ. The trial was sensational, drawing crowds and tremendous amounts of media, live television, cable coverage, streaming. Coverage of the trial took on some of the aspects of a soap opera, and the ratings skyrocketed, reported the New York Times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a mess.
Movies, books, podcasts, documentaries were made.
It was a mess, and the judge lost control of the courtroom. The prosecutor was extremely corrupt. He had an affair with one of the bloggers and maybe one of the jurors. And the defense attorneys were awful. And it was just everything that could possibly go wrong to lose control of a courtroom went badly there. Okay?
Yep.
And because of that, we are here today.
122, 2013, during the Jody Arias trial. It's all coming together now.
Okay? That's why we're here now. Because people, you asked earlier, why do prosecutors want to keep people out? Well, they want to act in secret. Secret courts have always been a flaw in our system, always. You know, we are dealing with this now at the federal level. These folks who are being arrested and detained by ICE or by the intelligence agency are not getting due process in any way. Okay? So secrecy around trials has always been a feature, a bad feature, a black feature.
Especially federal. Federal, you ain't getting nothing in.
Right. So, so this is why we're here today. And in my view, and I wrote this in my response, is that the fact is these people exist. The fact is they have every right to be in a courtroom and to report and, you know, do the things that journalists, traditional journalists or non-traditional journalists do. They have every right to it. And the proposal to change these rules is designed, in my view, to deal with a problem that already has a solution. And the solution is the current Rule 122. Just enforce it.
Exactly.
If you enforce it, you won't need a new rule. Okay? And the courts don't want to deal with it. They just don't want to deal with it.
They hate having those hearings. They do not want to have the hearing, the media hearings before the hearing. And they don't want to, because this, and what's crazy is normally, see, like this Jody Arias and stuff you're using as examples, I can see why they would need a rule, right? I'm not advocating for no rule. I'm advocating what's wrong with Rule 122. It seemed to be working fine for 20 years until I came along, and then I used the rule. And what's crazy, sir, since with your institutional knowledge of Arizona, now that you've directed me to this Jody Arias thing, that supports me even more, because this was crowds and coverage. Listen, at my court date, some of these court dates, it was me that I'm representing myself. So it's me on one side, the prosecutor on the other, the judge and the lady that sits next to the judge, nobody else in the courtroom except like the security, court security. And they're arguing how it's disrupting what? Disrupting what? There's not even anybody here except me, the prosecutor, and the judge. So it's not like Jody Arias where they're overflowing. But then what ended up happening is people saw what was happening to me, and then they were like, well, I want to be part of this soap opera. And then every court date, I'd be down there, and other people were like, hey, I want to go down there and use my YouTube channel and try to get something too, you know? And then it's like, it's kind of like it grows, you know what I mean? It's like a snowball effect.
So whoever the presiding judge is, whoever the administrative,
they made new rules. They made new local rules. The presiding judge made new rules twice for me, because the first time she did it, I sued her and she had to change them because we got a judge. They tried to put an injunction on us saying we couldn't come to the court because we kept violating the administrative order about recording. But one of the guys went and fought the injunction, and the court ruled that these guys are following 122, and you have to let, so the one person who had the injunction, they were allowed to walk around and do whatever they want because they had a free, for 1 year, the court couldn't do nothing to him because one of the judges already said he can walk around and record because that's the rule, so you can't touch him. But everybody else had to fight it until they were willing to either like hold us in contempt or arrest us for trespassing, because that's all they do. They try to arrest you for recording.
So in my professional opinion, what needs to happen in all of these courthouses and courtrooms is that the current Rule 122 needs to stand, number one. Number two, the presiding judge, the senior judge who runs the court system, needs to bring all the judges and prosecutors and the bar in and say, look, this is how it's going to be, and this is how it's going to operate. Okay? And he needs to bring the media in, and media, the traditional media, not the bloggers. And
well, they're media too, but I know what you're saying. He
needs to bring them in and say, here's how you need to operate. And before there is a high-profile trial, like I say, the next Jody Arias trial.
Lane Meyer's trial, they wouldn't. Do you understand what I'm saying? That the first day of my case at my arraignment, they said that there was not going to be any media coverage of my trial because they were worried about the Jody Arias effect. Now I know what to call it.
Right. Okay, so they need to bring everybody in and say, look, here are the rules. If you violate the rules, you're going to be held in contempt of court. Period. Okay, but here are the rules. Here's what you're going to be required to follow. Instead of making it, instead of doing this new rule, which will make it very difficult to cover with electronics.
That's their goal. And I don't understand.
That's why
Now,
I was enlisted, even though I'm retired. That's why I was enlisted to write what I wrote.
and what's wild, sir, is that, like I said, they put this petition in last year, and I called every single traditional, as you call it, KOLD 13, you know, the ABC, K-Gun, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? ABC 15, Dave Biskobing, all of them, and said, hey, you guys need to wake up because this is going to, if they're trying to sneak this rule through to retaliate against Lane Myers, the YouTuber, but it's going to affect ABC 15. It's going to affect all of them. So you should probably cover this and have my back here and say, Lane Myers has a First Amendment, and so does K-Gun 9 and ABC 15. And so we stand united on this. But that petition, if you look at the last petition, the one you commented on only has like 8 responses. The one from last year has like 70. And like 50 of them are supporting me and talking about how this one person is just retaliating against me. And so now that I know about this, see, I just found out about this new petition last night. Had I known, there would already be 100 comments. So this morning, calling you is the beginning of me, you know what I mean? My campaign, quote unquote, against this petition. You get what I'm trying to say? And I'm going to make sure that more comments get filed and we go to the meetings and speak, or even if it's virtual, you know, over, you know, you can watch them online and you can put in a request to speak for 3 minutes.
Okay.
So that's the plan.
A little unsolicited advice.
Sure.
This is unsolicited advice. Doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, that's my favorite kind.
So you don't have to, you can ignore it without losing it.
Well, I'm definitely not going to ignore you.
Well, so I think it would be very helpful to your cause and the cause of open courts and the cause of media access to open courts with recording devices if you can take it down to about a 6.
Oh yeah, that's my inside voice. That's what you're saying?
I'm saying you need to be, your passion is obvious and I think mostly in the right place.
Yeah, I have a disorder, oppositional defiant disorder. So I get worked up against authority, you know what I mean? But it's all good. I respect you.
I don't think that's going to help you.
Oh no. It's
okay.
it's
because what these judges ultimately want, okay, the ones who are in favor of open courts, and there are judges who are in favor of open courts. There are good judges.
Oh yeah, there was judges in the last petition that supported. There was Supreme appellate court judges and stuff in the last petition, the last year about this, who supported the rule staying like it is. They're saying there's nothing wrong. We're not. They said we don't. They said this fear, this unfounded. There's not. We're not experiencing this in our courts, so I don't know where this all comes from.
Right. So I think what gets their attention in a negative way, okay, gets their attention in a negative way when they sense disruption and chaos, okay,
right,
in the courtroom or the courthouse, because what they're concerned about and what we pay them and appoint them and elect them to be concerned about is making sure everybody has due process and a fair trial.
Yes, orderly fashion.
Which goes back to Sam Shepard, okay? Which goes back to making sure that the individual...
The defendant. Say it, the defendant.
Defendant is convicted or acquitted based on the evidence and the merits of the case, not the chaos that takes place in the courtroom when media is out of control.
And in your opinion, how much weight should the defendants, because the defendant does have the right to, like, because in those hearings under 122, the defendant gets to, like, agree or not, you know what I mean, or stand mute or whatever. So how much weight do you think the defendant, who's the person on trial, should have over, like, the media or the prosecutor or the judge? Because, like, you guys are all going to lunch, he's going to jail.
Yeah, well, the defendant and the defendant's counsel, okay, in my experience, have a great deal to say and have a great bit of influence in how the proceedings go. Because even when we're in the courtroom with the camera, okay, a witness can request to not appear on camera.
Right.
And the judge can shut that camera down.
That's why I always did audio only, to not even get into that shit. Just not even try to have to go through all the nuances of having the court decide, well, you can, this person, that person, that this. Listen, I'm recording audio. My camera's in my bag in front of me. Don't, you know what I mean? Let's just keep it simple. I'm recording audio. The court's recording audio. What's the problem?
Yeah, so that's my advice to you, Blaine.
Oh, I know.
Is to take it down to about a 6.
If I could take it down to a 6, or if I could take it down to a 6, they wouldn't be asking for the rule change.
Well, I understand, but always in the proceedings, acknowledge respect for the proceedings, respect for due process.
Yeah.
And respect for a fair justice.
I can't make it sound like I have contempt, you know what I mean? Because I do, but I can't make it, because the judges aren't the problem, you know what I mean?
You have contempt for the reality.
Right.
But you don't have contempt for the ideal. You agree people should have a fair trial.
Right? Of course. And all I want is a fair trial. I see these murder suspects, and I tried to use the reverse argument on them. I'm like, well, I see murder trials all over the news. Why can't I have this little petty shit on the news?
Well, that's a different argument. Okay, that's a different argument. But I think you have to. I have to take the call.
You're good, sir. You're good, sir. I appreciate your knowledge and wisdom. I never reject wisdom or knowledge. The only fools reject knowledge. All right. Peace. Why do the prosecutors want secret court? We just got a lesson in court. The Jodi Arias effect. It's no longer called the Streisand effect. It's called the Jodi Arias effect. I think it's called the Lane Myers effect. I think they were bracing for the Lane Myers effect. Who's next? We got some lawyers here. Let's see what these lawyers got to say.
Morning, Ballard Spa. How may I help you?
Good morning, ma'am. I was wondering if I could speak to David J. Bodney or Matthew E. Kelly.
Yeah, may I ask who's calling?
I'm Lane Myers. I'm calling about the I take it that you represent the media companies or something on behalf of the Arizona, it says. There had been a petition filed earlier this year where David and Matthew had filed, into it, and with comment. And so I wanted to talk to them just to get their side, because I'm the reason the petition, like, we're obviously on the same side here, because they're saying the media wants open court, whatever, however you want to explain it. But I'm the reason that, like, I had a court case in Tucson, and they got so mad that I exposed them that they put this petition in. So I would like to speak to them, just get some. I'm doing the best I can to make sure to fight this.
Okay, so you're just asking him about this petition that was filed by them?
I'm not just asking
You
them.
wanted to talk about that?
I'm asking them though. I'm not just asking them. Don't diminish the importance of this, please. But I'm the actual person in the petition. I'm the defendant that they're referring to in this. And I'd like to speak to them.
Yeah, let me check. Okay, well, David Bodney is not in the office.
All right.
Matt Kelly is here, but let me double check for you and see if he is available.
Thank you.
I can just place you on a brief hold.
Thank you.
Of course.
We need to have some on hold music.
Hi there, Lane. Do I still have you?
Yes, ma'am.
So it looks like Matt is in a call right now. He's doing some court remotely.
Yeah, that's way more important. Hey, yeah, that's way more important. Yeah, that's way more important. So, this is something that is like, you know what I mean? But nothing that like he needs to like put anything like a client on hold for or anything. And so, I was gonna tap into his email possibly then.
He said that you can just leave a voicemail and that he'll just call you right back. It would be much quicker.
Okay.
Than an email,
Okay.
if that works.
So you're saying, do I have to redial or you're gonna transfer me?
No. I'll transfer you.
All right, cool. Appreciate it.
Okay, one moment.
Courts are functioning.
The person you are trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the tone. When you have finished, please hang up or press the pound key for more options.
Good morning, sir. My name is Lane Myers, 520-771-2021. I was calling you about the petition in the Supreme Court that you filed this comment on and stuff. I'm the defendant. I'm the reason this petition. I'm the new Jody Arias if you've been along long enough. I'm Lane Myers. If you go back, I don't know if you read the first petition because they actually tried this a year ago. So I'd like to talk to you about a few things if you're willing to publicly comment. You know what I mean? I'm not going to put you on the spot, make you incriminate or anything. It's just to go over some of your things about the transparency and kind of tell you my story and get some feedback. All right. Because I'm the reason this petition exists. It started last year. It's still going. Thank you. The comment period is not over. They opened it. They extended it. The action, because look, the first one had like 50 comments, 100 comments, whatever. The first one that when I was in jail, everybody was making comments on and shit. Well, this one was put in by a judge, and he said he said that he's granting until September 18th. So the comments closed May 1st, but the person who put the petition in, a chief judge of the Supreme Court, recently, right here, extended the court time. All right, so this September 18th is I'm assuming that it got granted because it says it right here. The state bar. Why would the Bar Association want secret court? The Supreme the Bar Association supports it. That's crazy work. They don't want their incompetent lawyers getting exposed. The presiding judge of the Superior Court of Maricopa County, all she said is since we do so many remote hearings, can we clarify that whenever we're talking about courtroom, the word courtroom means virtual courtroom also. She didn't say that she supports all this shit though. But then we got Elizabeth Ortiz, who we're going to go over now. Support. But it's nothing like the last one when we all commented. We need to get these comments going. We need to it's right here. It's petition. How do I come on, man. We got to get these comments like last time. We got to let them know that the person who's shall be named soon. I hope this person realizes that I can only not say their name for a couple more weeks or less. Because we're going to be say their name, nothing is around you, nothing is around you. Say name, say my name. I can't find the old one. How do we find the old one? Imagine one man causing so much chaos. But what's crazy is why weren't these people helping me on the first one, and how did they find out about this one? I don't understand how we went from sneaky himself, sneaking it in the back door, and then Laura Conover, like basically the three people that were prosecuting me tried to get this passed last year, and a bunch of people were against it. But remember I was calling K-Gun 9 and all them saying, hey, why aren't you talking about my case? We're all in this together. Why aren't you supporting me coming to my court and recording and all that? Now all of a sudden they got their lawyers saying you shouldn't change this. Where was that when I was fucking saying it? It's crazy. How did they even figure out about this to fight it? But the thing that I'm here to that bothers me the most, you bother me, I bother you. That's how that goes. Take that to the courthouse. Is that this woman, excuse me, commented, Elizabeth Burton Ortiz commented, right? And we did a breakdown of this last night. She sure had a lot to say about me. Amended in 2013 with now we know why it was amended in 2013 because of the Jodi Arias case. And now that I keep saying the name Jodi Arias, I do remember hearing that. I didn't live in Arizona though until 2017. But I need some water and a song. That was a lot of talking. Let me go get some water. I haven't even had breakfast. I wonder if Britt Wimmer is going to make sure that those documents are ready. We all know what's really happening. The person with the same last name and a different first name is not giving it up. These people think they can get away with it. They think they can get away with plotting against Lane Myers on government servers. They can't. They won't. They can, but they won't. I'm like that motherfucker I'm like glass in your shoe. You ain't gonna just pull no scam on me, boy. Or girls.
Imagine being able to build.
Imagine. Hey, Jude. Hey, Joe. What happened to Joe D?
This song has a little introduction to it. It ain't supposed to be sad, though you might feel it that way. It's a song about desperation. Every now and then we do get desperate. This is a song about L-O-V-E, and if you abuse it, you're gonna lose it, and if you lose it, you're gonna abuse it.
I don't think we forgot about you, Judy.
Because you ain't gonna have it further on down the line, things ain't gonna be so fine. You're gonna be sitting there on your little machine, trying to look and
this is not taking it down to a 6. This is turning it up to a 10.
Telephone, and you know that she ain't going to call you. So you put on the TV and you're watching Johnny Carson segueing right into the Tomorrow Show, but that don't got to go, so you turn it off, you turn on the radio don't seem to get the click, so you say, hey man, I can't look at the split. You start to open up a little book and there's something there you got to overlook, you say, baby, you know there's something on my mind. You say, baby, there's something on my mind. I know that you're home, and I know you ain't all alone. So you start walking over to a house. You get over to a house, you walk over to a door, you start pounding on the door. You say, open up the door, bitch, this is Wolfa Goofa with the green teeth, let me in. Well, she opens up the door, and then you just kind of walk up to her and say, baby. You look up way up at her green mascara, and you say, oh, my darling. You know, her and me was at the party as friends. Do not believe what they say. That's only gossip that they're telling you down the wisecracker line. You say, darling. Take your big curls and just squeeze them down, Rotumba. What's the name of that chick with the long hair?
Rapunzel.
That's right. Hey, Rapunzel. Hey, Reputa. Reputa the beauty. Hey, Reputa the beauty. Let me down your hair. Let me climb up to the ladder of your love. Because this is Wolfa Goofa saying to you. Love comes once, and when it comes, you better grab it fast. Because sometimes the love you grab ain't gonna last. And I believe I must have. You know, I think I must have. You know, baby, I think I must have. You know, I think I must have. I must have got lost. Never thought about tomorrow. Seemed like a long time to come. How can I be so blind, baby, not to see what I want? I let you slip on from me, baby. I let you walk on by. To the love you had for me, I refuse to love, I let it die. Must have got lost. Must have got lost. Must have got lost somewhere down the line. Must have got lost. Must have got lost. Give away the days you were mine. Don't know why I let you leave me. Honey, I don't know. Say it's hard to see loving coming, baby. Honey, I've always seen it go. Must have got lost. Must have got lost. Must have got lost somewhere down the line. Must have got lost. I got lost. Give away the days you were mine. Love can be a sweet thing.
Must have got lost somewhere down the line. Hey. Must have got lost, baby. I got lost, girl. Give away them days of mine. Must have got lost. I got lost. Must have got lost somewhere down the line. Must have got lost. Oh, I got lost, girl. Give away the days you're mine. Come on. Oh, I got lost, man. Double cross. Your loving. Give it to me on over. Yeah. 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 I said your love got me higher than I ever been lifted before. I said your love got me higher than I ever been lifted.
What you want to do is save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
That's great, but can you ask your friend to stop digging into the green?
I can ask,
Sorry
but he's
about
not
that.
going
We
to.
don't do commercials.
Only pay for what you need.
Must have got lost. Must have got lost getting water. Must have got lost. Must have got lost somewhere down the line. So yeah, we need to fight this petition. I don't want to go to court, but when I do, I want it to be a public court. But the good news is my court is still, the rules are, for my next court date, the rules are still in place. So if you're new here, hey, for the people in the chat, if I need a 1 in the chat if you remember the petition from last year that a certain person filed last year. This one we're looking at now about 122 is new, recent, this year. Who remembers last year when the certain person filed to, if put a 1 in the chat if you remember the petition from last year, because I'm trying to not, I'm trying to see, because like every stream is different. It could have people that know about it or that don't. There could be people in the stream that just started watching today. I'm sure there is. Well, there's a 1. There's a 1. I don't want to have to talk about something that if you already know about it, I don't need to talk about it. Yeah. Yep. They wrote in on it. So if y'all remember that, they're trying it again. So we need to contact again. And we got the news media and their lawyers on our side. Yeah, and Foshin was doing videos about it when I was in jail. And the judge was denying it in my court dates. Dow Tracy, Last year, I was recording all my court dates legally. Last year, I was doing all my court dates legally, and they got mad that I was doing it legally. And they said, and they tried 34 charges to stop me. And then they decided, well, we'll just try to change the rule. And then that didn't work. So then they put 20 felonies on me. 18 of them got dismissed, and the other two are about to get the convictions overturned through nonviolent social change. I've never heard people refer to what I say as threats more than government employees. How is telling somebody what you're going to do a threat? I thought a threat was, if you don't do this, I'm going to do this to you. Or even, I'm going to do this to you. Yeah, Foshin was making videos about it back when I was in jail because he wasn't allowed to talk to me then or now. What's crazy is he wasn't allowed to talk to me because of his probation. See, and that's why my conditions are illegal. Look at perfect example. They have conditions that say you can't hang out with felons when you're on probation. And he couldn't talk to me because I was a felon. Same reason I couldn't talk to my uncle for 12 years in prison or when he was out on parole. But I don't have no restrictions. I can talk to felons. There's no reason I can't talk to Foshin. It's so stupid. Mark Kelly also. Let's not forget him. Mark Kelly actually was like my real life friend, which is crazy because, like, why could I not hang out with my real life friend? Of course, my real life friends were sticking up for me. So, anyways, we need to comment on this one. But what particularly caught my eye was this slandering fucking dumbass right here, Elizabeth Ortiz. She's in every picture, though. If there's one thing she's good at, it's photo ops. Get your kicks against DV. Isn't kicking violence? Oh, look at these Pumas. Look at Lion Laura, sack of shit. Where's Rachel? I don't. Hold on, let's see. I don't see Rachel. I don't see Rachel. I see Laura though right here. Unwanted touching by the woman fat thigh behind her. Oh, look at this. Look at this is this woman who's going to have to explain under oath her statements to the Supreme Court. I don't think they thought that. There she is again right here on. There she is again, the blonde lady. And again. Oh, and again. Oh, and again. She's not in that one. Oh, there she is again. Elizabeth loves a good photo op, so she should have no problem enjoying her front page coverage of my channel. Oh, look at her. There she is again. At a conference, sucking off the government dollar. She looks like a fucking lying sack of shit. And I don't even know how you can look like a lying sack of shit, but if anybody can, it's that right there. Cheesy ass lying sack of shit. Buy some more. Photo op some more. Who's this? Oh yeah, you're an award. I wonder why our favorite prosecutor in Tucson hasn't been featured for any awards lately. Award-winning idiots. Let's see. They got a webinar coming tomorrow. Home defense. Home fraud defense. Fraud education. Home fraud defense. Non-member price, $50. Should we log in? I don't got any extra money right now for that, but I will if I can get some. Watch this. Let's see if this gets me arrested. I'm on this government website. We should go to this. Prosecutor Academy. Pima County. Reform, transparency, and accountability. Transparency is her core objective, but she filed to have the secret courts. Reform, transparent accountability are Lord Conover's core objectives. So let's have secret court. Let's reform. Let's get rid of everybody that upholds the law. Let's be transparent. Let's lock down all courtrooms and argue her office argued at every court hearing why a court should be secret. And then accountability is let's give somebody 30 days for sexually assaulting an incapacitated woman while we argue why Lane Meyer should sit in jail with no bond and face up 40 to 100 years. So yeah, she continues. Where'd it go? I accidentally hit a button. Why can't we see like over here? Why is it only? Okay. She continues to educate the legislator on cash bail, has put an end to responsibly diverts cases of substance abuse disorder and mental illness to treatment, and keeps children out of the adult system. She is fortifying units in conviction and sentencing, integrity and fraud and consumer protection. Her team built the only adult restorative justice program in the state and invented a victim text notification system to better serve victims' rights. Her first in the nation agreements to specially deputized tribal prosecutors have improved access to justice. Come and see what we were doing at the Pima County's office to move the needle while empowering have a voice. Okay, let's see what you're doing.
Hello once again, this is Laura Conover, your Pima County attorney at what we call the People's Office down here in Tucson. And I'm thrilled to be talking about APAC's Prosecutor Academy today. And I am delighted to be joined by one Mr. Victor Chavira, who is 1 year now in, I think, or so, in your first year here with us. And welcome, and tell us a little bit about how your experience has been so far.
So my experience has been great. I'm going through my training right now to just start. We are doing our mock trial to start today.
Oh, that's great.
So I am getting the feedback from various county attorneys. And
so tell me what you see as the big difference being on the prosecution side versus the defense side.
There's a lot more to consider on this side. With defense, you are representing one person and it's their interests and it's very clear cut. And then I came over here and I started seeing that I'm working with law enforcement and they have their opinions about how things should go, and I'm working with victims and they have their opinions. And then I'm trying to sort of bring all of it together in this and this idea of how can I make the best choice for the state in prosecuting this case.
What does courage mean to you in terms of how you prosecute cases?
Courage means you understand the difference between insufficient evidence and a hard case, and you don't shy away from hard cases. If you don't have the evidence, you don't go forward.
Where have we seen this guy before? Uh-oh. Pump the brakes, pump the brakes. Where have we seen this guy before? Pump the brakes, pump the brakes, pump the brakes, pump the fucking brakes. Hey, throw it in reverse, throw it in reverse, pump the brakes, pump the brakes. Where have we seen this guy before? Pump their brakes, pump the brakes. I'm warning you now, pump the brakes. I just stopped the video. Hold on, kids. Get your seatbelt. Where, oh, where did we see this guy before? Give me a second. I'm pretty sure we saw this guy before. I'm almost positive we saw this guy before. Oh. This might be it.
Realize that I thought it was tomorrow, so let's call in.
Let's call in the
We're
court.
gonna call in on Zoom.
Where have we seen that guy before? Where have we seen that guy before?
Hello? Hello? Sure. Hope they're ready. Pima County Justice Court.
Matter.
Is this it?
Samantha Walker for the state of Arizona.
With Matt Walker? Now it's with some other.
Right here. Where have we seen this guy before?
All right, this is state of Arizona versus Lane Myers, case number CR 24-009682. Would counsel state your appearance?
Samantha Walker for the state.
All right, the defendant appears over Zoom. For the defendant, did you want to have an attorney appointed to represent you in this matter?
Is this a different judge than was supposed to be here today?
Judge Foster has a jury trial. She will hear your trial in this matter, but she is currently in a jury trial today. Did you want to?
Thank you. Can you state your name for the record, sir?
I'm Judge Kendrick Wilson. Did you?
I'm Judge Kendrick Wilson. Isn't that who this guy is?
Evidence, you don't go forward, but you don't shy away from the hard between means you understand the difference.
This is, guess what happened after this court hearing that I'm about to show you? This. He quit. After this court hearing, he quit and went and worked for Laura Conover.
Want to have an attorney appointed to represent you?
No, I think you should focus on having an attorney represented for Samantha Walker when I sue the fuck out of the dumb cunt. Is today my trial date or not?
Sir, interrupt me again and you're going to be in contempt.
Fuck you, cunt.
I'm going to set this for trial today. That's it, remove him.
Well, that's it. You removed him.
Between insufficient evidence and a hard case, and you don't shy away from hard cases. If you don't have the evidence, you don't go forward, but you
I think he meant to say he doesn't shy away from hard objects.
don't shy away from the hard work if it's worthy.
To be continued, Laura. To be continued. Let's see what Phoenix prosecutors say. Or let's see, did they give a video? What's the what these guys say? Oh no, hold on. Stupid is as stupid does.
Prosecution offices across Arizona will host their academies, creating the curriculum to really give the
Can't even hear her.
students the experience of
What am I missing here?
live and practice in that community. Who should apply for the Prosecutor Academy? Or perhaps you're coming to law school with the goal of being
You can't hear it.
prosecution
What am I missing here?
offices across Arizona will host their own academies, creating the curriculum to really give the attending law students the experience of what it's like to live and practice in that community.
Golf ball through a garden hose.
Academy? Or perhaps you're coming to law school with the goal of being a prosecutor. Or maybe you have a very different area of practice in mind. Or perhaps you're like many of us who started law school with no idea.
She's so nervous, she's holding her own hand.
Regardless, the Prosecutor Academy is an opportunity for you to have an immersive experience, really learn what it's like to be a prosecutor, and learn what it's like to practice law in Arizona. When you fill out your application to attend the Prosecutor Academy, you will be given the opportunity to rank preference which office you would like to attend the academy in. All offices will hold their 3-day academies during the same period. Therefore, you're only able to attend one academy. APAC will do its best to place you at an academy office that you've ranked high in your preferences. If you are placed at an academy office that is outside where your law school is located, so in other words, outside of Tucson or outside the Phoenix area, then you'll be eligible for certain travel reimbursement. The details of that are included in the application packet. APAC is doing its best to remove any financial barriers that may dissuade you from applying for the Prosecutor Academy. Arizona State and the University of Arizona are the only law schools in the country which offer this unique experience of attending a Prosecutor Academy to rising 1Ls. I encourage you to consider applying for the Academy.
She's so scared she's holding her own hand.
Part of our legal community and working with you.
Elizabeth. Am I allowed to say James E. Rogers College of Law? I'm not even banned from going there. Should I do a live stream from the law library at the U of A? Hey, put a 1 in my chat if you think I should do a live stream from the U of A Law Library this week. If I get 51s, I'll do it. We should probably go down there and get some comments, right? Because my victim told the court that she doesn't work there anymore, so there shouldn't be no issue. There should not be any issue of me going to the James Rogers College of Law law library because the victim doesn't work there anymore. That's what she told the court multiple times. I don't have any paperwork that says I can't go there either. I don't have anything that says that you are prohibited from going to the University of Arizona anywhere. I have something that says I'm prohibited from contacting the victim, but it doesn't list where the victim works. And I've been asking for them to provide something in writing for months. But they don't want to incriminate themselves and say that she actually does work at the College of Law and we were lying this whole time. So, yeah. How can I get in trouble? I don't have anything that says I'm not allowed to go to the law school. I asked them to specifically tell me, does she work at the law school? Because I don't want to get in trouble by going there, and she actually does work there. Because everything she said in court and everything the state provided me says that she quit working there December of 2024. Well, what's her story? Is her story that she now works there? Is she going to say that she now works there and people are contacting her at her work? her work that she said she quit in December of 2024, how did it go from nothing changed? So you have had the same job since you claimed you quit. So you quit, but nothing changed. And so the allegation is people may or may not be contacting on the work. Well, if she doesn't work there anymore, how is that even her Here's what they're going to get hit with in court. Somebody's going to have a lot of explaining to do. If she doesn't work there anymore, like she said, how can people email that email if she doesn't work there? Because if you're saying that people are sending to the email to where she used to work, that's where she used to work. So how would she even know about the emails where she used to work? What I think actually happened is they lied and said she no longer works there to try to make it seem like because she's not a government employee, I can get in trouble or something. But now the chickens are going to come home to roost because, well, now they're claiming she's being contacted. And then when we put it up on the screen at court, and it's going to say, what? Wait, I thought, and then I'm going to show what my evidence, my exhibits, and my exhibits say that she said she quit. That's why I paid all this money for these transcripts, because now I can say, well, at this hearing, during her little speech, she said she quit. During this hearing, during her little speech, she said she quit. During this hearing, during her little speech, she said she didn't work there anymore, and the university was on lockdown, and the students had to get permission to do all this. But when I asked the U of A about all that, they said there's no record of any of that. So are they lying and saying there's no record of that? Or is there actually a record of that and they're not telling me? Do you think no record of that means there's a record, we're just not giving it to you? Or somebody who said that in court was lying? Because you know how they say credibility? Well, here we have somebody who has lied in court so many times. Why not just throw the lie in that I don't work there anymore, so I'm not a government employee? But then now I want my conditions changed, and suddenly they're getting we can't do that because she does work there. These people are not very intelligent at all. So she works there when it's convenient for her, but she doesn't work there when it's convenient for me. Or excuse me, she works there when it's convenient for her, but doesn't work there when it's convenient. Right. I get it. I get it now. It all makes sense. I wonder if they work together. Do you think having their name on this announcement means they're working together? So remember earlier I said, oh, they work together? I'll give you one guess. I'll give you one guess. I'll give you one guess who coordinates between the Arizona Prosecuting Attorneys Advisory Council and the James E. Rogers College of Law. I'll give you one guess. Remember earlier I said, oh, they work together. Pro Se Idiot Club. Guess what? If I call up there and ask if she works there, then they'll say that I'm stalking and harassing her. I've asked the court, I've asked the judge, my prosecutor, the judge, I've asked them all to tell me right now, does she work there or not? Because I'm going to go there tomorrow, and y'all going to look really stupid if she does. Because I'm going to be able to say, I don't know, man. I asked everybody before I went up there to make sure so I didn't get in trouble. And then I went up there because nobody would give me a straight answer. Because I want to use the law library. And I'm ready to take that to court. I don't give a fuck if she works there or not. I'm going to that law library. Or we're going to court about it. You can't, I don't get to lose access to a government building. Otherwise, all a government employee would have to do is say, oh, I feel a certain way. And then nobody could ever go to a public building. But yeah, so I'll give you one guess who coordinates this. And we'll leave it at that. What about case resources? Check this out. Oh, they want us to log in. They keep the good stuff. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is how to avoid Brady. This is where it gets into where I found, if I click on this, it might be something that we can't look at right now because it has a certain crooked ass prosecutor's name on it. But yeah, this is where I just first discovered the old how to screw them over with the evidence. So here we got the executive director right here handing out awards. Look at her. Elizabeth. Congratulations, Veronica Allen. Legal Assistant Lifetime Achievement Award. Does that mean you've processed the lies with your eyes closed this whole time? What have you achieved in your life to get this award? Doing what we tell you and turning a blind eye? Oh, they even have a podcast. I wonder how I can get on here. They just did a podcast today. This can't be, this has to be a joke. This has to be a joke. Posted today is Elizabeth Ortiz joined by Arizona Supreme Court Justice as they pull back the curtain on the grand jury system. Learn the role of this important process in the criminal justice system, along with safeguards it provides to the accused. Please don't have me stroke out right now. First of all, why is the head of the prosecuting attorneys talking to the Supreme Court Justice and then filing things to get secret court? But let's see, here's their podcast. No, I'm not signing in.
Welcome to APAC Across Arizona. This podcast is an opportunity to discuss criminal justice related topics impacting people across Arizona. APAC stands for the Arizona Prosecuting Attorneys Advisory Council. The council is comprised of the 15 county attorneys, the attorney general, the chief municipal prosecutor from Phoenix, Tucson, Glendale, Gilbert, Chandler, Scottsdale, and Mesa, plus the dean of one of the state's law schools and the Arizona Supreme Court administrative director. The views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the position of the APAC Council or individual council members. I'm Elizabeth Burton Ortiz, the executive director of APAC. Our mission at APAC is empowering prosecutors through training and advocacy to serve as ministers of justice as we strive to build criminal justice bridges with the greater community. So today we're...
Hold on, I want to answer something Dolores asked before it gets scrolled up in the chat. I'm not having anybody call anybody. That's why I'm calling and I'm doing it live so that they can't say that, So no, I'm not going to ask anybody to call anybody. The numbers are there, but I'm not calling. I don't need anybody to get the information. They need to provide it to me. I don't need to have third parties get information for me that they should give me.
Going to
But I appreciate it.
build a criminal justice bridge with our community and talk about a concept that you may see on TV, you may hear about in the newspapers, and that is the grand jury. And hopefully debunk some myths about the grand jury and have all of our listeners better understand grand juries are an integral part of our criminal justice system. And so let's dive in and learn a little bit more about them. I'm really excited because today we're going to have.
This sounds like propaganda already, and not even good propaganda. Let us tell you how, let us convince the public that it's good. As they're saying, as she's trying to convince you that you're safe, I'm going to show my grand jury where they lied.
Conversation with Arizona Supreme Court Justice Maria Elena Cruz. Justice Cruz, welcome. Introduce yourself to our listeners, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm Maria Elena Cruz, and I am the most recently appointed justice on the Arizona Supreme Court.
The absolute
And
kook of
so
all
your
kooks.
background, before becoming a justice, you've held several roles within the criminal justice system.
Yes, I prior to this assignment, I was on the Court of Appeals. I was a judge on the Court of Appeals in Division 1. Before that, I was a trial court judge. Before that, I was in solo practice, doing primarily criminal defense. And before that, I was a prosecutor. That's where I started my career.
Though I especially appreciate being able to have this conversation with you because you have seen it from all the different aspects as a prosecutor, as a defense attorney, as a trial judge, and then as an appellate judge reviewing what happens in the trial court. So let's start with the basics. What is a grand jury?
So a grand jury is a group of citizens that hears evidence that is presented by a prosecutor, and that's to determine whether there's probable cause to believe that a crime has been committed and that this person under investigation is the person who committed it. It does not determine innocence or guilt. If probable cause exists, then the grand jury returns an indictment, and then the criminal case proceeds to the superior court.
So it's one of the initial steps. I won't necessarily say the very first step, but it's an initial step in the criminal justice process.
Correct.
Okay. How does a grand jury, we hear grand jury, but how is that different than a jury at trial?
Well, it's different from a trial in the sense that you're looking at whether there's probable cause. This is not a determination beyond a reasonable doubt. So the standard of proof is different. It's different in that there is not a determination of guilt or innocence. So it's only whether the case is going to proceed. It's sort of an initial measure to filter cases. It differs actually in many ways. There's not a judge present during the grand jury presentation. A judge does impanel the grand jury and instructs them on the law and on their duties. But when they go to listen to cases, the presentations, the judge is not involved in that. There's not a defense attorney present. The defendant typically is not present. So it's a very different proceeding from a trial.
So at a grand jury proceeding, it would be the grand jurors who are impaneled, sworn in by the judge, and the judge has given them some basic legal parameters. This is your job, and this is how you go about doing your job and assessing the evidence. And then the prosecutor comes in and brings in one or many witnesses. How does that typically work?
So the prosecutor will call witnesses. Oftentimes it's one police officer, one detective who is either directly involved with the case or not. Sometimes receives information from the lead person on the case. They are fully briefed before they come in to testify, and so they answer questions about the events in the case, usually led by the prosecutor. And then the grand jurors have the opportunity to ask questions if they have questions. Then at the time when the witness is done giving testimony, that witness is excused, the prosecutor is excused as well, and then the grand jurors deliberate. And they speak among themselves and they decide whether they are going to return a true bill or a no bill, which means a true bill meaning, yes, there is going to be an indictment issued, there's been probable cause found, or a no bill, no probable cause has been found.
And so a true bill would mean the indictment, which means that the case would then be able to move on through the criminal justice system.
Right. That's when it actually begins in the, so that's when it actually begins in the trial court. That's when the indictment issues.
So, let me play devil's advocate here. You have a prosecutor and you have a witness, often a police officer. There's no judge. There's no defense attorney in the room. Is this a free-for-all for the prosecutor?
Not really. It's not. There are safeguards in place. First of all, there is a court reporter. We forgot to mention that. A very important part of it. There is a court reporter taking down every word that's being said by everyone. There is no going off the record or any of that. Everything is recorded. And then that transcript that's generated from that proceeding is provided when the defendant is eventually brought in, their assigned counsel, and then their defense attorney has the opportunity to review the transcripts and decide whether they want to challenge any part of the proceedings because either the jurors were not instructed correctly on the law or because there was some failure in the presentation. They cannot challenge whether there was sufficient evidence presented. That's not a valid challenge, but they can certainly challenge defects in the proceeding itself.
And so if the defense attorney made the challenge, would that then be made in the trial court such as a judge like you when you were a trial court judge?
Correct. They would file a motion and then the prosecutor would have an opportunity to respond to that as well. And the court would decide whether there was some legal deficiency, which would justify giving relief to the defendant. And typically that relief comes in the form of remanding it for a new determination of probable cause.
And though if the judge determines that there is some legal issue and the case gets remanded back to the grand jury, would they just have the opportunity to do a redo, if you would, and have another session, and then that will work out however that works out, either a true bill or not a true bill?
Correct. And, there's something interesting. Even though the defendant is not present, they can request that the grand jury hear certain evidence. It's typically done through counsel. A letter is submitted, and the defense will say, we would like the grand jury to hear this specific evidence, and then the grand jurors have the opportunity and the right to decide whether they want to hear that evidence or not.
And so even though at the grand jury itself, it is the prosecutor presenting their witness, the defendant has that opportunity to request that the grand jury consider certain additional evidence.
Correct, including their own testimony. And some defendants, rarely, but some.
What they haven't mentioned is that you waive your right to a speedy trial if you do that. So the prosecutors know that. They just throw some hot shit together, get it, and then if you challenge it, you just waive. It's a trick to get you to waive your speedy trial right. They don't want to tell you that, though.
Sometimes the defendant will want to go in and give testimony, but that's very, very rare.
Oh,
I would have wanted to go in there.
Grand juries then how long do they typically sit for? Is it just for one case, or is it to hear many, many cases?
I remember when I was a trial court judge and we were selecting a jury for a trial, just a regular trial, felonies, people have their lives and they have their responsibilities and they have their jobs. And no one, I would venture to say no one on January 1 says, okay, I'm going to block off this much time for the possibility of going and serving on a jury. So it is an interruption of our routine to a certain degree. But I always like to remind jurors in regular cases, that when you get selected for a grand jury, that is an imposition. If you think coming in for 2, 3 days of trial is a big deal, grand jurors serve for 4 months. 4 months that they are coming in. It's true, they don't come in the entire week, but they come in once a week for 4 months to hear cases all day on their assigned day.
And so let's talk about the different grand juries. In Arizona, we have 15 counties. So would there be, would each county have the opportunity to convene its own grand jury?
That's correct. Each county selects their grand jury, and in some counties, there are 2 grand juries going at the same time because the population and the number of cases require that. In I would say probably in most of the smaller counties, the rural counties, it's one grand jury running at a time, so one day.
And then is there also, does the state of Arizona have a statewide grand jury?
Yes, there are county grand juries and there are statewide grand juries. And the difference is that county grand juries typically consider offenses that occurred within that county and that are prosecuted by the county attorney. State grand juries, there is statewide jurisdiction over certain crimes by statute, right? So the legislature has decided that certain crimes are going to have statewide jurisdiction. Typically, we're talking about crimes that cross state lines or where there's statewide significance. And one of the key differences there, too, is that those are prosecuted by the Attorney General.
So, as we begin to wrap up, is there anything that you would like our listeners to know about the grand jury system? And you've had such great experience from prosecutor to a defense attorney to a trial judge and now an appellate judge. What would you like our listeners to know?
I think one important thing that I would want our Arizona community to know is that the grand jury is designed to balance the interests of the public, of crime victims, and those accused of crimes. And even though these are confidential proceedings, there are safeguards in place. It's not something that is done. It is done in secret by law. It's required, but it is not done in a way that there is no due process and opportunity to be heard and to challenge those proceedings that occurred. I also would want people to know that the determination of probable cause is very different from a determination that a crime has been proven by proof beyond a reasonable doubt. So just because a grand jury returns a true bill does not mean that there will be a conviction ultimately. We like I said when we started, typically it's 1, maybe 2 witnesses. So that an entire case does not make. And the defendant has not had an opportunity to present defenses. So it is a preliminary process just to get us started, to sort of sift through cases that potentially would have no business even getting their foot in the door at the trial court.
Like mine.
Thank you so much. And we see all the Law and Order TV shows and other things, and sometimes we as a community may not really, it may be entertaining, but it's not necessarily accurate. And I think it's important for us to understand our criminal justice system, to have confidence in it, whether that you're coming at it as someone who's accused of a crime, someone who's a victim of a crime, or just a member of the greater community.
Yes, thank you so much for doing this work. I appreciate it for that very reason.
It's just important for us to be able to share this information, and I'm so grateful. I know that the Arizona Supreme Court has really taken an approach of being very transparent and promoting that transparency. In my view, to
being very transparent as they look to take away the rights in the courtroom of journalists. This is a joke. This is like Elizabeth. Elizabeth. Oh my God, Elizabeth.
Promote confidence in the criminal justice system. And I appreciate that. To our listeners, thank you so much for taking a few minutes of your day to learn, educate yourself on the grand jury system. Hopefully, you never have any firsthand interaction with it, but if you do, I want you to know what it's about and how it impacts cases. And Justice Cruz, thank you so much for all that you do each and every day, but for taking the time to share your experience and your insight and help our listeners educate themselves. So until next time, everyone, be safe, and we hope you join us again soon.
The goal is that I'm the next guest on there. Everybody should write to Elizabeth Burton Ortiz right here and tell her that I should be the next guest on the podcast right here. If you want to go ahead and reach out to Elizabeth Burton Ortiz and let her know that I would like to be the next guest on the podcast. They said, oh, you get due process. The only way you get quote unquote due process, so hear me out. They indict a kangaroo sandwich, and then if you want due process, you have to give up your right to a speedy trial. So it's like, do I want to have right to a speedy trial and due process, or do I just want to have just due process? Get the fuck out of here. They literally just gassed us up for 15 minutes to believe bullshit. Because I can pull up right now where they lie, cheat, and steal to get anything they can. And then why should a defendant have to fucking give up his right to a speedy trial to challenge the grand jury? I want to be a guest on their podcast because she's definitely going to be a guest on mine. Give me 1 second. I'm going to play some music. I got to go clean my bong. And then come back. Water's all dirty and shit. Need a song. Musta got lost somewhere down the line. I love that song. Must have got lost somewhere down the line. I got to get some work done. So hopefully we've gained some more perspective.